Greetings, New Hammer, Middle Hammer, and Old Hammer folks alike. I am OldGrumpyWolf, aka Lennon Midnight, and welcome to the Minibar Podcast. I'll be serving you up lots of awesome painting nerdiness, talking to other painters from around the web. And tonight at the bar, we have with us BloodAsMedium. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hello, how are you?
Before we get too far into it, I just want to give a shout out to thebaselayer.com. They don't sponsor the show. I'm just trying to help the guys out. I've been working with them since they started the site. Thebaselayer.com is basically a social media site for miniatures. There are no comments. There's only views and likes. Your entire home stream, your entire stream is just nothing but miniatures. There's no weird cat photos. There's no dog photos. There's no baby photos. There are just miniature pictures. So go check out thebaselayer.com. The link is below in the description, and we'll get on back to the show. So, okay, we're back. Hi. Okay, so where are you based in the U.S.?
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
For about the last 6 years. Yeah, we're in PA.
Okay. Did you born and raised out there, or did you move there?
No, I was born in Staten Island, New York.
Okay.
I bounced from there to Brooklyn, and then I moved to Jersey upon my father's death when I was 21.
Okay.
And then I moved to Boundbrook, New Jersey. I went from Scotch Plains to Boundbrook, met my girl, and we eventually ended up here.
Oh, okay. So you've been East Coast your whole life?
Yeah.
Okay.
Born and bred, yeah.
Yeah, I should have guessed you were from that area based on your accent. So
yeah, you can hear it.
You gotta get a Jersey accent. Hey, go park your car in the car park.
Yeah, it's like a Sopranos episode, yeah.
So to jump right into the show and to get things going, what got you into hobby? Yeah, what got you into the hobby and miniature painting?
I was very young. Game back then was Dungeons and Dragons, and that's what we had. And
was it 1980s or
early 70s? I mean, late 70s, I'd say. They started coming out with these. I went to a place called a Game Store in Staten Island Mall, and they had these little miniatures in plastic called Dungeon Dwellers, and they were pre-painted lead models.
Oh, God.
And I saw these things, and I'll tell you the truth, Lennon, I was hooked. I just wanted to know everything about it. Wasn't a lot of people to teach it, but from there, you were able to buy these lead models at Toys R Us and things like that. And around 8 years old, I started painting.
Back when they were actually lead.
Yeah, dangerous lead and enamel paints like everybody else starts with. You really didn't have anything else, and that's where it started.
And how did what was the story from there?
I eventually met some people who painted miniatures as a side gig. $20 you would pay this guy Ethan, and he would paint your models as your markers for D&D, and from there. I think around 84, 85, I started picking up Games Workshop models.
Oh, okay. So like a couple of years after I was born.
Yeah, and it was. I never saw Space Marines and Space Orcs and stuff, and it was a lot different from the little fantasy models that you see. And I was hooked when I saw that. I started collecting White Dwarf and things like that.
Oh yeah, I think
it really made an impact. Yeah,
I think Games Workshop started White Dwarf in like the late 70s.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, I have a few earlier copies. You really didn't see much painting. It was just a gaming mag. And
it was all black and white, too.
Every now and then you would see a painted model in there. And I thought, that and Dragon Magazine, I thought it was, great. I thought it was something else.
Well, I think it didn't, Games Workshop, like the White Dwarf kind of started out as like an all-encompassing magazine for like Dungeons and Dragons and other games that were out at the time.
Yeah.
And then Games Workshop was like, oh, maybe we should make our own game. So they did I forgot what the first game was, but it eventually turned into Warhammer Fantasy.
Right. I'm not sure if it was called Rogue Trader or whatever it was.
No, Rogue Trader was the initial version. Rogue Trader was the initial 40K.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but I bought anything I could find that had miniatures in it, and that really, really immersed me in the whole thing. It was really, really something else for me.
I mean, hell, back then we would. There really wasn't any acrylic paint. It was all enamel.
Yeah, that's all you had, Lennon. Unless you had an art gallery next to you, but I didn't know anything about that. I just whatever.
Well, I mean, you had the art. You had artistic based acrylics, but you didn't have the type of acrylics we have now.
Right. You had the tubes, but no really painting companies selling paints or anything like that.
Yeah, I think Games Workshop started debuting their paints in I want to say the mid '80s.
Yeah. And I bought those. I bought the box sets, and I didn't know what I was doing. I just, whatever I saw on White Dwarf, I tried to copy and things like that. But,
yeah.
It was really fun when I saw that stuff. It really made an impact on me. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was growing up, the hobby store I went to was called Triple J here in town, and he still had like back issues like from 1980s of old gaming magazines, including some old White Dwarf stuff. He had he had some old rule books floating around the shop for gaming with. He had the old what was the racing game that Games Workshop had back then? The
was it called
Dark Future?
Future,
yeah.
I think. Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, I remember going
Yeah.
through all these old magazines and rule books and stuff, and like just how different it was compared to like when I was. This must have been when I was like in my tweens and like my early teenage years,
right?
And just how different the stuff and like the early and mid '80s, even some of the late '80s stuff was versus like. After Brian Ansell sold Games Workshop to whatever the first corporate buyout was, like how different post-corporate buyout was versus when the early days and Ansell's days.
Yeah, it was a lot different. More fun, I would say. Less serious.
So to kind of keep it going, did you get into the hobby because of gaming or painting?
I'm going to say it was strictly painting for me, Lennon.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I played a handful of games throughout my life span. Maybe a few fantasy games as far as Warhammer Fantasy, Age of Sigmar. But it was always about the painting for me.
Yeah,
it was always about the painting.
Oh, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't imagine. Well, like I can kind of imagine because I'm pretty sure that you had the same kind of like nostalgia that I do, but what it was like when you first discovered all those old magazines and miniatures and stuff like that. It was just like, especially like when 40K came along.
Oh, magic.
I mean, what got magic. Me was just, there was nothing like it, man.
No. It was, and you know what was cool? The game store that I used to go to, if you remember anything in the Rogue Trader 40K book, they have some, dioramas that's like a hallway scene. All the things you saw in that book paraded through the store I went to. So we actually got to see that, in the 80s. And I was enthralled with it. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I
was I got like when I was a kid, I got into the movie, Alien and Aliens, because that was all we had. Alien 3 didn't come out until like I was like in fifth grade. But the funny thing was, side story, I listened to a podcast, or not a podcast, just a video last night of a guy talking about the big court case that came up in the mid 10s against, like a miniature. This miniature store was producing bits and stuff for Games Workshop miniatures because GW wasn't doing it, and GW ended up suing them. They put the store out of business. I love how it just like Games Workshop got a total bitch slap. In that the judge was like, oh well, hey, but guess what? You have to redo all of your copyrights and trademarks because you can't copyright simple words like orcs and space marines. It does not hold up. You can't do that. Right. So Games Workshop,
I guess, with the Space Marine and Space War.
So hence why everything now is named, like for all the Space Marine stuff and for the Imperium stuff, it's all like Latin based stuff, like Astartes. Well, they've had Astartes since the 1980s, but they never used it. They always said Space Marines. But it was nice to hear. It was like, it sucks this shop got shut down, but at the same time, it was just great hearing like just Games Workshop getting hit in the head with a rolled up newspaper.
They got their due, yeah.
But going back to what the initial thing I was saying was like I got an Alien and Aliens, and the Marines were at the time called Space Marines. So when I got the Space Marines, the Space Marine and Adeptus Titanicus rule books in the comic trade, I was like, oh, Space Marines, it's aliens. And I'm looking through, I'm like, this isn't aliens, but this is so cool. I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah.
It was just so out there.
The movies definitely made it more of a,
There's one picture I have in mind. And do you watch any of the stuff on Warhammer TV or Warhammer Plus?
I do.
Have you
not
checked
religiously, but I do. I try to see it when I can. Yeah.
Have you watched there's a new series out called Kill Lupercal?
That I haven't seen yet.
Okay,
no.
It's I think the first 2 episodes are out. It's really good. Like the animation in it is like cinematically good. But definitely. It's this warlord titan pilot, and it's the first 2 episodes, like she's going out to battle and like another Titan pulls up and tells her to go somewhere else because they have information that Horus is actually on Earth, and there's like video footage. But it's funny, in the old Adeptus Titanicus rule book, like Titans were piloted by one dude, and the artwork is just like this dude. He's like frothing at the mouth, and he's got all this like plugs and wires going into him and crap, and it's just kind of weird how. Like,
I still have the game downstairs, Lenny.
Oh, you have Adeptus Titanicus?
Game down there, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
original
that
box,
game.
But I still have the all sorts of stuff. Space Hulk, I have the original, the Hero Quest, all that stuff.
Oh, nice.
Talisman, yeah.
Yeah, I've got I never got a first gen copy. Oh wait, I have my best friends right now, but I never bought a first gen copy. I've got second edition and third edition. I just pulled the plastic off, opened the box, looked at the models and the sprues, and put the top back on, so it's brand new in box.
Yeah.
Anyway, I talk about it a lot.
They were cheesy back then, but I'll tell you. They had their own flair, you know.
I mentioned it a lot on the show. Like, I feel bad for kids now because like. Or just Newhammer folk, because like they've never gotten to experience Space Hulk. They're like, oh, I've heard of it, but like isn't boarding party or landing party or whatever, it's like, isn't that the same thing? I'm like, oh, no. How long does a game of that last? Oh, about 2 hours. I was like, yeah, an average game of Space Hulk lasts about 15 minutes.
Yeah, they don't understand that part. They've never seen it.
Games Workshop needs to bring it back, man.
Which is sad, yeah.
They need to bring Space Hulk back.
Yeah, I tell you, man. Anytime they do that or they try to revise one of those older games, I'm all over it. I love that stuff. You know, the nostalgia alone does it to me, Lennon. You know.
I'm trying to between my painting bestie, he brought over a bunch of stuff he had on storage at his he had it in storage, and he's like between houses right now. He's staying at his grandma's place because she passed away. But he brought over a bunch of his stuff to here to store it, and I'm trying to piece together a full copy of Tyrannid Attack, because I've got my copy still, but it's missing some stuff. He brought his Advanced Space Crusade plus his box of Space Hulk Genestealer and Space Hulk Deathwing.
Crusade, remember that?
Yeah. So I'm trying to piece together Tyrannid Attack so we can play it again. I think I'm missing like 3 models, and they're 3 Tyranids, and dude, it's like I found unpunched sprues of the original plastic Tyranids on eBay. They do once like $80 or $90 a sprue. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, they sell for a lot. Yeah. It's robbery, but you know, they're like lost in time. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're relics. They're relics. They really are.
But what kills me though is it's like these aren't rare. There's like Games Workshop made like hundreds of thousands of these things.
I know. Yeah. But they're selling them like they are, you know, and there's people that will buy them. They will pay for it, you know.
I mean, I'll admit defeat in that one. I bought
Of course, I mean, you're not alone.
Well, I bought there was a guy on one of the Facebook groups, and he was selling brand new in box. He had it stored at his uncle's house in the attic, and his uncle died. He's cleaning out the attic, and he found all of his Games Workshop stuff from when he was a kid. And he was like a teenager in the 80s and a 20-something in the 90s. So he had brand new box of RTB 15 Space Marine Strike Force, brand new box of RTB 09 Terminators, a brand new copy of Rogue Trader. So I bought all 3 of those.
Yeah, that's a nice find, Lennon. Good job there. Yeah,
I want to get a hold of a 3D scanner so I can scan all the bodies and the arm sprues and like make STLs and preserve them. So I've got tons of them laying around, but I'm just those are kind of like my unicorns. I'm like, no, I'm gonna put these on the shelf, complete in box. That's the
white whale. I can't blame you.
One of the few collector things I just like not touching these.
Yeah.
So do you?
That's the other part of the hobby.
What have you got in your collection?
If I tell you...
That was the wrong question to ask.
I mean, she wants to kill me. You know, there was a point where I was getting everything by this store that I used to go to. I went there until I was 38. But I would get everything 50% off. So if one box came out, I had to have 2 boxes of it. And if 2 boxes, I had to have 3 boxes of it. So I have like all these rare things downstairs, and it's just building up and building. And I told my girl, one day I'm going to paint them. But I know I'm not. It's just to say I'm going to paint them, you know, make it less painful for her.
That's kind of why I stopped buying things.
It's tough, man. They generate a lot of models, and it makes you just want them all, you know, the collecting part of it, you know.
Well, I bought with the redo of the Space Wolves, I bought, I was stoked on the new Logan Grimnar, so I bought him.
Yeah.
I bought
Very exciting.
I bought the new Wolf Priest because I thought that was just absolute tits looking.
Sick.
He's just gorgeous.
Sick, yeah.
I
and
bought
the Rock Fist, yeah.
Oh, I didn't buy Arjack. I'm not big on that model. He's interesting, but I'm just like,
yeah.
I bought the new Codex because the last Space Wolves Codex I bought was from 2nd edition.
Right.
Dude, that new Codex is beautiful.
Oh yeah. They do some job, man. I'll tell you the truth. They really do some job as a company. They really do.
And the last little Space Wolf trinket I bought was the dice set. I don't play. I just wanted the dice set.
That's all right.
I think the last time I was into this in the 2000s, I missed the Space Wolf relaunch again when they redid all the models. But the 2000s is a weird era for GW, man. Like their sculpts and the sculpts and the painting were just. Ugh.
Yeah, I know.
Don't get me wrong. Not all of them were bad, but the majority of the models, like they were, Jess Goodwin wasn't sculpting anymore. So like,
it went through a goofy phase.
Yeah.
Went through a goofy phase. Yeah.
And then
look, I still bought them, Leonard. I still loved them. I still bought them because it was GW and it followed that lore in the background, and I was so like I said, I was so enthralled with this type of stuff that anything that came out, I had to get my hands on. Whether it was a brush, a paint pot, primer, you name it. Yeah.
Now, the one thing I do regret about the 2000s missing out on was all the Black Library releases.
Yeah.
Because those books now are just ridiculous expensive.
Oh, yeah. That, that's one good thing about this hobby. You invest in it, and down the road, you could find somebody that's going to want it, I think that's a positive thing about this whole thing. When the third part, you got the painting, you got your playing, and then you got your collecting. Yeah. And with the collecting, it does seem to be an investment by what I've been seeing. As far as pricing and people want things. Yeah.
There's like I have. Oh, what was it in the 2000s? It was. I want to say it was like 2009-ish, maybe 8. They brought out it was a 40K box set. It was the box game. It was Dark Angels versus I want to say Chaos. Anyway, like you get pre-ordered on.
There's so many, Lenny. I'd have to see it. So many came out.
That's another one I bought that was like tore the plastic off, pulled out the screws, looked at them, stuck the lid back on. I just thought some of the models are great.
I've done that. Yeah.
So okay. And to finish what I was saying, I kind of went off on a tangent. Was like I don't buy a whole lot of new stuff. Like everything I buy, like I will paint, but I'm just like. I've got enough Oldhammer crap that I'm good. I've got enough models to paint for the rest of my life.
You do some job. I like your work a lot.
Thank you.
It's got a very nostalgic look to it, man.
I appreciate that. Thank you, especially from
it is.
from a
really
Golden Demon winner.
I dig it. Yeah, I dig it, man.
So like with your level of painting, we'll bring up your Instagram later on. What kind of paints do you use?
To tell you the truth, Mike, I have every paint set you could imagine. I even had to take a stop, but my go-to paints are Reaper Master Series paints.
Oh, okay. You're the first guest I've had to say paints. That.
Yeah, that's my love. I started with that. I formulated quite a few recipes that I'll use over and over, and that's kind of conducive to my look, my aesthetic. And it's all from the Reaper Master Series. I never really ventured away from them. Yeah. I have everything else. It's just I love Reaper. Yeah.
Is Reaper, are there pot cylinders like the old 80s paints?
What they are is they're not, I mean, they're cylindrical, I should say. They're more dropper bottles. Very, 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 very good. They have a nice, you can control how much you put out. Put it that. There's not a big vacuum taking it in or out. So it's very, very good. I really like them. I can't say enough. Yeah.
Google that. Reaper paints.
Yeah, Reaper MSPs. Because there's a few lines of it. But yeah, the MSP is what I like.
Yeah, they're like kind of shorter. Yeah, they're about the same size. They look about the same size as like Vallejo.
Yeah, same length. They're like a Vallejo look. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen these.
Oh, I love them. I can't say enough about them. I can't.
Is that the only paint line that you use, or?
No, I mean I have my go-to is probably Reaper, and for all intents and purposes, GW.
Okay.
Because I grew up with it, I know the colors well, the ones I like from it, and when I see something I like and it has a good look, I'll continue to use that. You know.
Oh, what since you and I kind of grew up in the same time period with the same paints and all that stuff.
Right.
What do you think of GW's modern paints versus like the 80s, 90s, and 2000s?
The fact that they have an airbrush line is good. The actual paints themselves, I like their paints now versus then. I didn't realize then. I just found this out maybe 15 years ago or so, 10 years ago, like that you would get a paint like woodland green and it would be very thick and have nice coverage. And then you would go to Bad Moon Yellow and it would be very watery. And I continued to push those paints aside, not realizing those paints were meant to blend better. Never knew it. But the paints now, I like the coverage on them. The only thing I just still don't like is the way their bottles are formulated. Yeah. The way they tip over. Yeah.
Everybody hates new paint pots.
Yeah. That's the one thing that's always a gripe I had with them is how they sell them in these bottles. Yeah.
I actually, in thinking about it, I don't quite get it because there was one of these days I'll actually remember what the channel's called, but there's a podcast with like these three British dudes, and Peachy used to be on there. And they brought on one of the former GMs of Games Workshop, and he was saying they switched to the current pots that they have because it's their own design. Nobody else has those pots. Those pots are like, the design is like copywritten or trademarked, and I'm sorry, patented. And they're well aware of the problems with the paint's drying out, so the lid's not shutting properly and whatnot. He said, basically like there's an upside and a downside to that. The downside is the pots dry out. More advanced painters hate them. They get rid of them. They switch over to dropper bottles, me included. But there's an upside.
No, I don't blame you. Yeah.
There's an upside that it's plant like almost immediate plant obsolescence, where the 13-year-old kid who's just getting into it, his I don't know what it's called now, but like his Chaos Black dries out after like 2 months, so he has to go with his mom to get more paint, get another Chaos Black, and he's probably gonna buy 3 or 4 more paints, and then this vicious cycle continues until like a couple years down the line where people are like, oh dude, transfer them to dropper bottles, and he does that, and that revenue stream's gone. Because dropper bottles, they don't dry out.
Yeah. There's quite a few problems with it.
But what I was.
But it is a move that I want to do. I want to transfer everything. Go ahead, Lynn.
Oh, what just dawned on me was the paint pots that they had in the 2000s, especially after they went from the screw cap lids back to the flip top lids, those were their design as well. So it's like you went from a superior design to this weird bottle design you got now.
Yeah. These problems with these, I think they've existed always, unless there was those twist-offs with the little grooves in them. There's always been a problem with their flip-top bottles.
Well, but the 80s and 90s flip-top bottles that we grew up with, that was easy to clean out. You just stick your X-Acto knife in there and pull, and it pops right out. Whereas the new one, you have to flip the stupid thing inside out.
Yeah, those were good. Those, at least you could clean the rim out a bit. It was a little more shallow.
And they were airtight.
Very airtight. Yeah, your stuff didn't dry out. Yeah. But as far as I could remember, there's always been a few problems with their line as far as how they deliver in their bottles that they're stored in. So, I mean, it's still good paint. It passes what I don't varnish my models.
Oh, really?
That's how I control my finish. So when I paint, I'll use a scratch test. If it's dry and it doesn't scratch easy, that's a durable paint for me.
Okay.
So GW always passed that test for me, which is an important test. For the fact that I don't varnish. So there is good things, there is bad things, but I still like the paints a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, my biggest thing with them when I came back to them was the formulation was so different. Their acrylic medium was totally different.
Changed.
And I was like, I don't like this. So I started. The first ones I bought were Vallejo, and then I bought some GW ones. And then when I was doing that Terminator that's on the bottom right of the screen for Olden Demon, that's when I branched out and tried Pro Acryl and found their white was matte white, the same as 2000 Citadel white, so it worked really well for me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna branch out and start trying a bunch all these different brands, because obviously, like, there's certain different brands have different behaviors, and I just need to find the ones that work right for me because Citadel ain't working right in a lot of ways. So much like
I do also
Reaper
love
paints.
Pro Acryl.
Yeah,
the Pro Acryl I like a lot too, Lennon. I give a lot of credit for that company. Jason, whatever he's developed is a great paint. Mm-hmm. It's a great delivery system in the bottle. You get a lot of it, and the colors are fantastic.
Yeah,
so that's another paint.
Pyro Red is like right here, man.
Oh, it's beautiful. They have such a beautiful line of paint. That I can't say enough about. Yeah, Pro Acryl is another favorite of mine. Yeah.
Have you tried like too thin coats or like Army Painter, War Painter?
I've never tried Army Painter. Something with their colors, the way they look. I don't know if it's too. They have like a desaturation look to them. I'm not crazy about the vibrancy of those, but what I have tried was a few bottles of the too thin coats, and the fact that they replicate GW's colors pretty accurately, I think that's a big plus. Because then you got people that can go from GW right to knowing what colors they need from the too thin coat. So that's, I mean, from what I use, the too thin coats line's very good.
Yeah, I've been stuck on AK lately. I love their paints. Like they're
another one, love it.
Yeah, the consistency of the behavior of the paints across the range is just amazing. Like I can't believe how
good.
Yeah, I cannot believe like how like every single paint is all of them act the same.
Yeah, the coverage is the same. Anyone you grab, the colors are really nice. Again, I have the whole set, and there's been projects I strictly use the third generation for, and I love that too. But I will say my go-to is a set number of colors, and most of them are from Reaper MSP.
Yeah, with the Reaper paints, do they? What's the finish they dry in?
I would say it starts to dry in 10 seconds.
No, I mean like is it like satin or matte?
Oh, I use matte. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they dry very matte. Yeah.
Okay. So they're similar to Pro Acryl and AK?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I would say they're comparable, Lennon, to how Pro Acryl dries matte.
Okay.
I would say they're comparable to that. Yeah, that finish.
Yeah, I've been, like, recently I've found that, like, there's certain colors, like, that I prefer to base coat with that are satin. And then, like, find like the highlight color and mix that in with my base color and build it up. But that the highlight color is matte. Because I've noticed the behavior of like the way that you layer matte paint is different than like layering on top of like a satin base.
I would imagine, yeah. I don't do that much, but I would imagine.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned earlier that I have a varnish question, but I won't ask it because you already answered it. You don't varnish your models, so like for me, I just want everything the same finish when it's done. But I've talked to multiple guests where like yourself, where they've mentioned, no, I want this particular area matte, I want this like satin, I want this glossy, and I like that look. And I think a lot of people
if I have to, at least I can control it.
Yeah.
This way I can control it. If I need something glossy, I'll grab a gloss and then I'll add it in or paint it on top. But yeah, I get to control the finish at the end. Yeah,
I've had a few people mention that like they don't like the effect of clear coat on top of metallics.
You know what it is, Lenny, with me with clear coat, I feel like at some point somewhere it's a bit of a gamble on if it's going to ruin what your image in your head or the model that you finished. Is it going to change it? And I've had that happen to me a few times where it either got frosty or something happened that literally now I omit it and I get to control my finish the way I want it, you know? Well, I think, especially for shows.
Yeah, I mean, in your case, like, well, in both our cases, I prefer clear coating my models just because I like, people want to look at them. I let them handle them so that way they don't rub the paint off. But, and you and I,
that's very nice. Yeah.
You and I don't game, so the whole notion of you're not really ever handling your miniatures very often. So we don't have to worry about the paint rubbing off. Whereas, like, I tell all the guys, like, at the hobby store I go to, anybody who games, it's like, dude, clear coat your models. If you're going to take the time to paint them, clear coat them. Because if you're gaming with them, you're constantly touching them, and you're going to rub the paint off, and you're just going to get really mad because you got to go back and touch everything up again. Because I know a lot of...
I know painters, too, that... Yeah, you know what they'll do? They'll even have a few times during their year... One of my friends, Martin Orlando, very prominent gamer and painter, and they'll take time and literally have to retouch up their models for the next event. Yeah. For the next event after that. And there's always, to me, that's, a lot of work.
Yeah.
There's always going to be wear and tear, and I just can't do that to the things I paint, Lennon. I just don't have it in me, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't want to destroy them, you know?
There's occasions
I
where,
just
like,
can't do it.
well, my Layman Rust that I painted up, I think I fixed him when I did the plinth, but like one of the claws on the wolf pelt, like somehow the gray got chipped off the claw. I'm like, ah, crap.
Oh,
I
boy.
just painted back over it, but he was clear coated. I don't know how the hell I chipped the
But it always
claw.
gives a feeling of emptiness, you know, like even if you could fix it, like whether it snaps or you scratch a model, it always damages me up here. You know?
Yeah.
Like I know I did it, so that's enough to bother me. Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks ago, the last time I went to paint night, I brought one of my RTB 15 Blood Angels I painted down, and I picked him up. I was going to put him in the little case I transport him in, which is a bunch of cotton balls, and I'm sitting in there, and one of his arms snaps off. I'm like,
no.
And then I go to stick his arm back on, and then the backpack snaps off. I'm like, dude,
Yeah,
come
of course.
on.
That's how it happens.
And then I get to the shop, and I knocked him over, and then his other arm snaps off. I'm like,
Of course.
What,
It never fails, Lennon.
slaughter base, do you want to break off too?
Right.
So I put them back together, and I've got to go through in the arm sockets, like where the balls are for the socket. I got to touch up some red in there. I mean, unless you're like turning them at a certain angle, you don't see it, but I know it's there, and it irritates my soul.
You know it's there. Yeah. It's enough to eat away at you.
Yeah.
You know, another thing is I've had models finished sitting on my, my cabinet. I know what's going to what show, what bag it's going to go in, and I'll go to touch it up, and I don't putty them down, and I'll go to move them, and they all fall off the tray, and this one stops. And I've had the worst, situations, and believe me, I've had to retouch up things that if I just didn't touch it, it would have been fine. But there's been times, Lennon, it guts me. It hits me like a shot to the ribs. When I see something break after months of work, it crushes me, man.
Yeah.
Crushes me.
Dude, I can't even, like, you going to Golden Demon and stuff like that, and like seeing some of the pieces that guys come up with for Golden Demon, and like, knowing they're like states away or even a country away, it's like, dude, how do you even transport that thing without breaking it? Holy crap!
So nerve-wracking.
Yeah,
nerve-wracking. It's not even the right word, Lennon. First off, I stopped flying because the way TSA sometimes rips through the bag.
Oh, yeah.
Whatnot. Yeah, we have to do it. Oh, can I? No, we have to. So I stopped flying. I basically, my girl, she's a champ. She drives to Demon. It's 12 hours. Nova, we drive to. But if I can't drive there, I ain't going. It's that simple. Because that trip, I'm always thinking, you get rear-ended or something, it's enough to destroy you because you got all your work. You know what I mean? And I it's a fear. People, and I'm sure they go through it too. But give them, kudos for doing it, for going across state lines and whatnot. Good for them. But yeah, it bothers me to no end. I'll be honest with you.
I'm dreading going to Golden Demon next year, and it's in Milwaukee, isn't it?
Yeah, now it's in Wisconsin. Yeah. Which is a nice place.
Wisconsin.
Man.
Yeah,
really
I'm in Vegas, so that's gonna be that's I think like a 4 or 5 hour plane ride, and I've got my from my band days, I have my gig bag for my pedal boards, and it's actually a laptop bag, and it's like super padded, and I know
you're better off.
I've got my old travel case, or my travel cases. They're just like tackle boxes or organizer boxes that are padded. I'm just dreading packing all my models in there, stuffing everything with cotton balls. It's like I'll go through TSA. It's like, no, I'm carrying this through the metal detector with me. Like, I'll take the box out. I'm carrying this with me. Why? Because there's over 1,000 hours worth of work in here. You're not allowed to touch these things. You can look at them. You're not going to touch them.
This has got to be said to them. Yeah, it's got to be said that I've even, when I used to fly, and before COVID, it was a little
what I'm going to do on the plane is just sit there and hug my backpack. Sir, you need to put the backpack
literally
over my dead body. It's staying on my lap.
Believe me. I've seen people put their stuff in overhead and they slam it shut, and I'm just looking at, no, man, that's not for me. No, that's a bad time up here for me. You know what I mean? It's dreadful. It is.
Well, it's just nice to know that like there's a similar headspace for people that actually like yourself, that I have, even in my own headspace. Like there's similarities where it's like, there's stuff we worry about that most gamers won't worry about. An arm breaks off, just glue it back on. It's like something breaks off the diorama, or like a head snaps off. Great, now I can't enter this.
You know what it is, Lennon? They don't know. They don't know the work that goes into it. If you don't know it, you don't know it. You know what I mean? And that's not their fault, but it's just, believe me, I think it's more than just you and I in that headspace.
Yeah.
If you covet anything like the way we do our miniatures and stuff, you're going to feel that quite a few times in your life, you know?
And it's nice to hear about through guests who actually compete like that. It's actually nice to hear their stories as well and how they go about
it's human.
things.
It's human nature, you know?
Yeah.
It's just human nature, you know? It's the work that's put in.
There was a guy, I don't know his name off the top of my head. I think he's from the Czech Republic, but he did he competed in Golden Demon 24. Yes, it was 24 over in Europe, and he did that orc on the back of the Great White Squig, and it had like a little painted.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So he came over to Vegas with that. And
really,
yeah, he came to Vegas.
That was ballsy.
And he brought that, and he brought his candle night. And entered those in LVO. But like I bumped into him the Sunday when model pickup was after they got done judging. You go pick up your models, and I bumped into him. Him and I were talking. He actually let me hold the candle night and look at it up close. Like I was like, holy crap, this thing's good.
Right.
But I saw his carrying case, and it's like some custom carrying case he built. That was like an aluminum shell.
That's
it was padded, and he put a plank of wood.
Yeah.
He put a plank of wood in the center, and on the bottom of his he drilled holes in it. On the bottom of the minis, he had rib nuts in the bottom of them.
Yeah,
and actually bolted them to that plank of wood.
With the washers,
I thought that was a great idea. But you could tell. But for somebody to even do that, he's got the headspace we're in. You know what I mean? It's something to worry about because you don't want to get to a show, which I've had happen. Mm-hmm. You get there and you're in the hotel room fixing something, respraying. It's a nightmare. You know, it's a nightmare. It throws the whole trip off. Thank God for LVO for Las Vegas Open. It's like 10 minutes from my house.
Yeah. Yeah. I still haven't gone, but I plan to get there one day.
Oh, dude, come out in October.
I'm going to see if I can talk my girl into it. It depends on what she has going on, but I really am going to try. I do have to get out there. Yeah.
It's fun. I don't know what it's going to be like this year. Or we've had two this year because they used to host it at the Rio. The Rio's under new ownership. The Rio got really weird about running out its convention center, so Las Vegas Open had to move to another venue, which is about 7 minutes away. It's called World Market Center, and. Okay. I don't know what it's going to be like at World Market Center, but I know that the vice president of Frontline Gaming, he's like, the venue is like 3 times the size. We can have a lot more going on. It's not going to be as cramped.
And that works.
I was like, not as cramped. How is that cramped?
Some people have very different definitions of things.
But it's going to be interesting. I'm curious as what they're going to do with the painting and show space for that competition, because that was a little awkward. Like if you didn't know the painting competition was like past the vendor hall, you would never have known it was there.
Yeah, the locations is something. Even with Wisconsin and Nova, and it's hard to navigate. Mm-hmm. Like this last team, and they moved it again. Now it's in Wisconsin, and to get to the actual part of this convention hall that had Demon, you felt like you were walking for a while. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and it was also 2 floors up. You go in. Did I go too high? I went up an extra floor. It was kind of deceiving, but it was tucked away. You wouldn't know it. You had to really, learn the route.
Yeah,
it was almost hidden. You know what I mean? And it felt like it was you just couldn't find it, no matter how many times you've been to it.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm looking forward to going to Adepticon. Like it's from what I've been told, it's like massive. There's all kinds of stuff.
Oh, you're gonna love it, Lennon. You're gonna love it.
I want to see. I can't wait to see armies on parade.
Oh, you're gonna love it. There is room upon room of all sorts of things. Do you remember the old Games Day Golden Demon?
I never went. I know what you're talking about. I never went. I kicked myself because Games Day, they used to have 4 of them, I found out. And one of them was in Los Angeles. I'm just like...
L.A., they had Chicago, there was one. There was Baltimore, there was Virginia. But let me tell you something. The tables, the gaming tables, was the big thing. Like, Demon was great, but the actual tables made by GW... They were something to see.
Oh, wow.
Like, I never played, and I really loved them. Mm-hmm. I wanted to use the tables.
Yeah.
But that's what Adepticon's like. Room after room of expertly done tables, a lot of volunteers. tons of vendors, things to buy, all sorts of new games.
Yeah.
It's just really phenomenal. It really is. It is.
Yeah, I'm curious as like what's going to happen at LVO in October with the vendor status, because we've had 2 in 1 year, and from this year forward we only have 1. But like I'm hoping that like all the vendors, like all the big paint vendors and everything, come back for this one. I do know Army Painter's going to be there. But hopefully. I hope AK shows up again. I hope Tooth and Coat shows up again. There's a lot of people I want to get back to talking to.
Yeah. You know, you get to see Duncan Rhodes. You get to see, you know.
Oh, he's not coming to Vegas. I already talked. He's not coming out until next year.
I'll tell you, he goes to the Adepticon. So if you never met, he's a really cool guy, very approachable. But guys like that from all the companies at Adepticon, you see them.
Okay,
that's who you're going to see them.
Yeah, I've heard he's like super nice. Like he's like the Bob Ross of miniature painting.
Very approachable, and a really cool guy. Yeah, very humorous. He's got a lot of jokes.
Okay,
got a lot of jokes, but. It's. I think you're going to see that with Victoria Lamb you run into. There's so many people there. You'll see Peachy. You'll see a lot of people.
Yeah. Where did I leave off? Okay, so we went over what kind of paint you use. We already talked about you don't use any varnish. We already kind of talked about the 2 paint brands that you like. Oh, here's actually a really good one. Do you paint in sub-assembly?
Yes, I do. All the time.
Okay, cool.
As much of a sub-assembly as I can.
Good. I'm glad I'm not the only one. As much
as I can. As a matter of fact, Lennon, I've never saw how people don't do it in sub-assembly.
Thank you. I completely agree with you.
It just saves me a lot of madness and heartache, and I get to finish every part of the model.
Yep.
And I've never, unless a model is what I call the ideal pose, you know, fully open. You can get to the armpit, the crotch, whatever it is. Unless it's that. That's it. I have to paint in sub-assembly. Yeah. As many parts as I can keep it until I have to put it together.
Curious, do you use a paint handle or do you actually hold your models with your hands?
I hold the models in hand with a glove.
Oh, wow. We're like besties already.
Oh, yeah. I'm telling you, we're not the only ones. Everybody's doing this if they care.
Yeah.
If they care about their craft like that, they're all doing it.
Yeah. No, I've heard some painters talk about like it's more like tabletop standard, but it's like they put their model together and they're like, if you can't see it, then I don't have to paint it.
I know that's the old slogan, but I know because I can see it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I can see it, I know it.
Well, it's like the Ulrich Slayer that I did for that I entered in LVO, like the hand holding his helmet with the skull on it. I didn't know.
Oh, that's a beautiful model you did there.
Well, I didn't know like how, like I had to sit there. I painted everything in sub-assembly and I didn't know how it was going to go together. So I ended up painting the hole in the helmet on the underside of it.
I've done the same thing with the same model.
And I wasn't sure if you're going to be able to see it or not. And after I got them assembled, you couldn't see it, but I know the hole is painted in the helmet.
Couldn't see it. Yeah, that's right. And you felt better.
Well, I didn't want to put them together and discover you could see where the hole was supposed to be and trying to like angle a brush in there to do it.
Yeah, I get it.
So,
and I read that you got the Verco's Vault coin.
Yeah, I got a Verco's bronze coin for it.
And he wanted to purchase it for the gallery, which is a big honor, you know?
Yeah, I tried getting a hold of Gary. He gave me a cell number. I tried getting a hold of him a couple of times. I couldn't get a hold of him. And then I used to go to their paint days on once every month on Saturday, and it just wasn't my crowd. But I talked to a couple of people that work at the museum, and they said, send us an email. So I sent emails. They're like, we'll get a hold of him for you and tell him to contact you. He never got a hold of me. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to stop.
Yeah.
Because I told Gary,
phenomenal guy.
I didn't want to give him my Ulrich because like that was just really special to me. But I was like, I'll happily paint something for the museum.
That's fine.
Like
I can say is this, Lennon. I can say this. Think about this. Here's another thing. We'll be in headspace the same.
Mm-hmm.
I worry about when I die, 10 years, 20 years after I'm dead. Where are these things going to be? It's dreadful to even think about it. But with Verco's Vault now, this is why he created the gallery.
Yeah.
I mean, they got a better chance for posterity if they make it to that gallery and that vault than they would at our own possession.
Yeah.
After we die, they go on there if they're in the vault. Which is always safe. So if you ever need to, it's always the offers there that you can get it there.
Verco's is literally 7 minutes from my house.
Oh, that's wonderful. When that thing's finally open, you're gonna love that place, man.
Oh, they're like one of the people that work in the museum. They told me like why it's not open yet. Like Gary bought the buildings, and the plumbing in the museum building was just absolute trash. Like something ruptured and it flooded.
So they got to fix that.
Everything had to be fixed.
Happens,
All the AC, everything for the AC had to be ripped out because it was like busted and ruined. He had to put all new AC stuff in. And so it's been delayed.
30,000 square feet, Lennon. It's a huge facility.
It's big-ish. I don't know how big it is off the top of my head, but once they get it set up, it'll be pretty wide open. It'll have a lot of models in there. I think
it's going to be awesome. Yeah.
If my gut feeling's right, they'll be able to display a lot in there. So it should be one hell of a facility when it's done.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good man for doing that for the community. You know what I mean? He loves that stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised at like how far the reach has gone since he started this thing. Like seeing Verkos pop up at different events.
Huge. And he's a good guy. You know, he gets it. He gets painting miniatures. He gets the passion for it. He gets it.
Didn't they just do one in Europe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He gets it. Now, Europe, I'm not. It may have happened. It's not. I know they just did somewhere. I know they did it at the LDO. They may have done one in Europe with the World Model Expo. Maybe that was there. But yeah, his reach is everywhere now.
Yeah.
Whether it's MFCA in the States or Monty Sansevino, his reach is there.
Yeah.
You know, he's a very prominent guy. A lot of people know him. A lot of people know about the Vault. Mm-hmm. And it's good. It's good for everybody. You, me, the community, the craft, everybody. Yeah.
So going past sub-assembly, with you being around for as long as you have and with, where you're at with your painting, who's influenced your painting style over the years?
I could say top two people would be John Blanche and Jacob Nielsen.
Okay. I know John Blanche. Who's Jacob Nielsen?
Jacob Nielsen was a prominent painter and Golden Demon winner in, I would say, like late 90s, 2000s, like that.
Okay.
And phenomenal artist. He has that bit of that grimdark look in his work. Mm-hmm. Not strictly the Blanche look, but I'd say mine's a little bit of a conglomerate of those two packed together.
Okay.
But yeah, he usually goes by Rune, Jacob Rune Nielsen. Crystal brush overall winner, phenomenal painter. If you look him up, you'll find a lot of works that you've seen in White Dwarf and Demon and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, those two guys I would say that I really had an impact on me.
Yeah, unfortunately, the late '90s and early in the 2000s, I didn't have a subscription to White Dwarf, so I missed out on a lot of that. Like, Painting Bestie dropped off like a whole box of White Dwarfs from late '90s and the 2000s era. So I've been.
Oh, you're gonna love sifting.
So I've been reading those on the Royal Throne.
Love it. I love those mags. That period, I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got my subscription when they still had Skinny Dwarf, and then they went to Fat Dwarf, as Addie Wood says.
That's right, the Skinny Dwarf.
But Fat Dwarf was a lot of fun when they came out with that. That was like right around the time when Gorka Morka came out, and like things just drastically changed, and everything got really fun.
I have the box game downstairs, Lennon. I still have the game downstairs. Yeah, in my basement.
That's what I'm surprised they haven't
I
brought
bought it
back.
all. The rhinos, the skeleton, everything, you name it. When they had the first two box sets, I bought the Imperial Guard. I still have some of those floating around. The first Space Marine kit. You name it, it's been through my hands. Yeah. I'm crazy for it.
Hey, your storage room is just its own Virgo's vault.
It's crazy. My girl wants to kill me. She wants to kill me. I just say, one day I'm going to get to them. That's it.
One day. That day that comes after someday.
Yeah. And then the week after that day. And then the week after that day.
But that one comes after the other. That one comes before the other day.
Yeah. I think she's catching on and knows I'm full of garbage. You know what I mean? I think she's catching on.
No, I'm trying to make it a point to actually like paint everything I've got, just so that way like I can, the majority of what I got 40K wise. I've actually been letting go of a lot of stuff for like friends around the world. I'm actually sending 80 Wood my old Titan Legions box. I don't have any of the models.
I think that's
I've got some of the models, but I've got all the rules, all the markers, everything in there, and I'm throwing in some few tidbits for him. I think that's an
awesome thing to do. Yeah.
But he's like, "Oh my god, that'd be so awesome to actually have all that stuff." He's like, "That's like one of the few Titan games I don't have." I really want another Imperator.
Yeah, see, let me tell you something, Len. If it came out, I had to grab it.
I want another Imperator Titan. I want to paint one of those so bad.
Which ones?
The Imperator Titan, the walking city.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's crazy. I remember, I don't know, let me see if you remember these. Forge World at one point had busts and large-scale models like Malleus Darkblade. They had a troll, they had ogres, and it was their resin. And the models were 1/6 scale, I would say, the size of like a G.I. Joe action figure from the 60s or 50s. You know, about maybe like 6 inches, 8 inches tall.
Yeah, big boys.
And they had every prominent character. They, you know, forget about what they had. And they're very hard to find. I still have a second copy of the 12-inch Plague Bearer.
Oh, wow.
From Forge World. It's huge. And it's probably one of the best likenesses of a Plague Bearer. I think, I forgot who sculpted this. I'm not sure if it was Simon Eagle, but they had these models. They're very hard to find now. They had a 6-scale Space Marine that was multi-part. You probably see a lot of those. I think one was an LVO, very large Space Marine blue. It was an Ultramarine, I think, red helmet.
I think I know the one you're talking about.
It may have been that, or it may have been, I saw it in World Model Expo. Whatever one of these last 2 shows came up. But they had this 1/6 scale Space Marine, and it's phenomenal, man. Yeah, they made some awesome kits. Yeah.
I've got a bust of Primaris to paint up. I got it. Unfortunately, the way it was printed, like the backpack is part of the model, so like where the orientation of the back,
assembly there.
where the orientation of the backpack is to the shoulder pads, there's certain areas on the shoulder pads you just can't reach with a brush. So I've got to get a jeweler saw out and cut the backpack off so that way I can paint the entire model.
You can't paint it the way it is. That's not going to happen.
No.
I couldn't do it.
A buddy of mine's like, oh, you could just, you can spray, you can just spray.
No,
he's like, you can spray prime, black prime coat. I'm like, you're not understanding. Like the way this backpack is set up, even if you spray primer it, there's certain areas of the models it's just not gonna hit. Period. Well, you can't see it. Yeah. I don't care. I want to paint the whole thing.
Live that way. I can't live that way, man.
My OCD will prevent me from sleeping at night more so than my
whatever it is. It's going to give me more sleepless nights than anything. So I know that. And if you're like me, it's not going to happen.
My OCD is not going to let me sleep at night more so than my insomnia already does.
You're going to wake up with cold sweats.
Missing a spot on the model.
Yeah, no, I mean, it affects us that way. It does. It truly does. Yeah.
And like I said last episode, this is what happens when you get 2 Oldhammer dork painters together and we just start rambling like a bunch of old biddies.
That's a good thing. It's all right. We're not harming anybody.
No. There's probably new Hammer kids that are going to watch this and be like, oh, God, those guys are so old and weird.
Yeah, but with that comes wisdom.
And a whole lot of patience.
Or at least I tell myself that.
Dude, have you tried? I apologize. I don't remember from your feed. Have you tried painting a new Primaris Marine?
Yes.
What do you think?
I love Space Marines. I love Ultramarines. Again, I got to keep them in a ton of parts. I did a Primaris, I think it's a captain, and it was from the box where they first hit the scene, the Primaris armor, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I left it all the parts separate. I enjoy them. I like the way they're girthy. I like the size of them.
There's a couple aspects like I wish Games Workshop would change. That kind of drive me nuts. Like I'm painting up after I released my Space Wolves tutorial.
Give me an example.
I had a bunch of people ask me like, "Hey, can you do a Primaris Marine in your Space Wolves Grim Bright style?" And I was like, "All right, I'll do one." So I kit bashed together a Primaris Space Wolf. He's
I think I saw that.
I posted it. I got the legs done and I posted a story of it. But every time I paint a Primaris, I just get really frustrated. I've learned one thing I need to do is leave it off the base. Because
everything stays off the base.
I'm not used to 30 millimeter bases, and the 30 millimeter bases compared to the old 25 millimeter Slata bases, it prevents your brush from getting at certain angles underneath the miniature. Because the brush actually hits it. I'm going to keep them off the base.
Off the bases too.
But there's so much going on with them, and getting back to what you were asking, and what I was saying was The padding on the leg, I think that needs to go bye-bye. Like up on the upper outer thigh areas, that needs to go bye-bye. The stupid flare off
I could see that.
The stupid flare off the kneecap needs to go away. Like they did it with the blood claws in the new Space Wolves. I think it looks great.
That looks good. Yeah, that definitely looks good.
And I think they need to take the actual chest piece, like where it shows the pecs, and extend that down to meet with the rib cage opening.
It's a nice look.
So that way they can take the Aquila and move it down a little bit, so there's more space around the neck ring. So that way, it's easier to paint in there, and two, it just kind of better distribution of some of the anatomy for the details. And I think it would make the Primaris.
I would be with that.
It would make the Primaris a lot more enjoyable to paint. But I mean, if I had to pick two,
it's amazing, Len. Nowadays.
What's up?
I mean, if you wanted to scan it in a computer and play with it, you could probably get like a close to a copy of it right in front of you and test it out. You know what I mean? That would be something to see. I'd look forward to that. Yeah.
It's like if I've got to take two out of it, they can leave the chest eagle on the chest where it is. Just get rid of the flares on the knee pads and get rid of the padding on the side of the outer thigh.
I could see the gripe. Yeah,
it would make the legs a lot more. It would make them easier to paint, a lot more fun because you can get a lot more gradient into the armor panels. But I like doing those old long gradients.
I see what you've come from as far as style of paint. Okay, I see what you mean.
And
I can see that. I can see that.
Certain sculpts like those thigh pads, they kind of interfere with other details. So it's like,
they do look a little awkward. Yeah, they do look a little. I mean, some of them are better than others, but the overall Primaris, I mean, it could do with some alterations. I'm not going to say it can't. You know,
I do like how big they are.
I like the fact that they're so thick. You know, they're so much bigger than those little Space Marines that we used to see. Like that, because I like substance. You know, and I just like the mass on them, the Primaris.
Oh, that's where you and I differ. I hate the face mask.
Chunky.
I don't like the mouthpiece design. I prefer the old Mark 7 or Mark 6 designs.
I agree with that. I like the Mark 6. Yeah, I like the Mark 6.
At least the heads are still the same size. So if you have like beaky heads or Mark 7 heads, true. You can still use those on the model. Like the Kit Bash Wolf I'm doing, he has a Mark 7 helmet.
I did. Yeah.
I think the mask is like too riot gear looking in the Primaris.
You know what I still love too, Len? The beaks. I really love the beaks, man.
Oh, sneaky beakies they're the best.
I grew up with that.
Yeah.
You know, that's again nostalgia for me. So yeah.
Well, it was just there was a certain like glare that the sneaky beaky helmets gave.
Yeah.
And they've never been able to, I think it's just because the length of the nose, it gives this kind of menacing glare.
My girl don't like them at all. I think they're great.
Oh, I love sneaky beakies.
I think they're fantastic.
RTB01s are like some of my favorite Space Marines ever. I love those models.
Okay.
Even though whoever sculpted it chose to like do the fist with the thumb on the top, it's like who what wow why?
Exactly what you see it. Yeah. Exactly what it looks like.
Who made that decision? Like, why couldn't you have just made the fist? You know, like, hang on, just
it's one of those questions
like this instead of like
why? Yeah,
that.
Yeah, why couldn't you just do it? Well, you couldn't.
It's one thing if you want to take like I've done it on one or two of my sneaky beakies. I'll put their knife at the bottom of their hand. So like at least with the thumb on the top, it looks like they're putting their thumb over the.
Well, it looks like he's plunging it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Or he's holding it. He's holding it like a defensive combat position.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a nice hack. Yeah. I like that, Leonard.
I
like that a lot.
While we're on the topic, let me actually ask the official question, since you've grown up pretty much the entire gamut of Games Workshop releases. How do you think the old Games Workshop miniatures compare to the new ones?
I'll tell you the truth. The new ones they're all made better. But to me, because I was a child growing up with that, I still got to prefer the old stuff, man. I do like it, like a fantasy orc from the 80s, let's say 87 or so, still has a place when whether they're on a boar or a wolf. I love those metal orcs back then, man.
Yeah.
That Paul Bonner look with the squishy fat face that beaks out. It's got like a beak. I love that. That to me is what I grew up with, so I'm always going to be partial to the older stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think they were just made more fun. You know, they had a bit more character, less seriousness.
Yeah, I will agree with you. And
I like that.
Especially like the old Rogue Trader era. There was a lot of humor in a lot of those models.
Oh yeah, a ton of, whether they were giving the finger or they're mooning people, these little rot things. Yeah. There was a little bit of fun in there that, you know, wasn't anything crazy. It's not like Triple X or anything like, but it was fun. And it kind of like set the tone for that era. Like that was the fun era. Yeah, I miss that a bit. You can still see every now and then they'll throw something in to nod to that time, but I did like that stuff better. Yeah.
Now, my favorite era of the orcs was like the Gorka Morka era, like
beautiful
when they went from like, don't get me wrong, some of the old like Rogue Trader and early, I just refer to like generations as in 40K terms, like the old Rogue Trader era and the second edition era, both like 40K and fantasy orcs. Some of them were a lot of fun. But I always, in my older years after getting back into this, like I'll look at those early era orcs in 40K and I think to myself, how were those ever a threat to the Imperium? Like they're they're not muscular. They look like just like regular people in clothes and
they're goofy
and shooters. And it's like, how are these ever a
nothing
threat?
Like you see today.
Yeah, how are these a threat to Space Marines?
Nothing like you see today. Yeah.
And then they brought out the Gorka Morka stuff, and it's like all the normal orcs. It's like they're all buff and stuff. It's like, oh, I can see muscular, how those could be a threat because them boys been hitting the gym.
Yeah. Savage, barbaric, thick, yeah.
Those boys.
The other ones don't propose.
It's like those boys squatting 400 or 500 pounds right there.
Right.
Where the old early edition orcs, goofy, it's like they look like they barely like curl like 40 pounds.
Yeah, very skinny limbs and stuff. Yeah.
The beer guts.
I love that era. I'll tell you the truth. I love that, Leonard. Yeah, I love that era. Yeah.
I do miss. I don't think they have it anymore in Fantasy Battle. The old Snotling pump wagon.
I tell you, I was looking for one. I did a miniature in an orc. It was a Games Day orc from, I think, 2005 or 2001 or 7. One of those. There's a special model. And I used one of the Snotlings from the pump wagon coming out of the barrel.
Oh, God.
And, I've always loved the pump wagon for the actual little Snotlings it came with. So anytime I can, if I see them on eBay, I grab them.
Oh, nice.
The little metal guys, that are hanging all over, love them.
I always loved those. I think they had two of them that they used to show in White Dwarf, and they were always like,
I love them. I love
15, 20 of these little Snotlings just hanging off this wagon. It was great.
It's great. I mean, I painted the newer one from Blood Bowl. I've never painted the older one, but I got to say, I enjoy the new one the way it looks. But the old one, the fact that all those little Snotlings had a little personality of their own, and there was so many different ones, I love that. Yeah, I think that's great. That was one of the best models back then.
Yeah,
the pump wagon. Yeah,
I was always really happy, and I'm glad I got to paint a couple of them. I always really dug how cartoony they went with the Gorka Morka.
I love that.
With the Gorka Morka era and post, like how just simply cartoony they got. Like when they were smiling or showing their teeth were like,
you got
huge.
The face with the big grin. Yeah.
And I got to do a couple. I got to do 5 of those for my gal's Christmas present last year for her little diorama I made her. It's a bunch of little Gorka Morka Snotlings on there.
You know what I love, Glenn? Those Spanner boys. You know, the ones with the wrenches.
Yeah.
From Gorka Morka. I love that line. That Gorka Morka had some of the scrap trader. You had so many cool characters from and vehicles from the Gorka Morka range. And I'd like to see them redo that.
For anybody watching, we're not talking about the plastic Gorka Morka models because we just don't talk about those.
No, the metal ones.
We're talking about the metal ones. Those were the keepers.
Great stuff. The Scrap Kings and all that. I love that stuff. Yeah.
Kind of drives me nuts though. Is like they released that Gretchen Captain, who became who became the Red Gobo eventually. But that model now on eBay is like $150. I'm like, dude.
Oh yeah.
Are you? It's not the Red Gobo, but All right. Just go. Scalper's going to scalp.
Of course they are. But I like the way they incorporated in the Christmas special ones. And I love that. I love that they give a nod to that era. I do.
Oh, I think I've got the last 3 or 4 years worth of red gobos. I'm going to paint
Great stuff.
I'm painting one of them up for my gal for Christmas this year.
One of them's got the squig with the dynamite coming out of his face and stuff. Just great stuff.
I really like the one where I love the one where he's throwing the bomb down the chimney.
Yeah, he's ready to explode the chimney. Yeah, see, that's the stuff I think that they need to push a little more, because some of their stuff is, how do I say it, like gruesome. Some of their stuff is barbaric, savage, like the Orc Commandos. But when they do a special and it has that type of look and that characterfulness of those red gobos in a Christmas setting or whatever, I love that. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, there was. I think it was my last guest I was talking to, and It was Steve. We were talking about like Games Workshop needs to they need to bring out like kids clothing with like cartoony Space Marines and cartoony orcs, and they really need to expand out into like not tidbits, just like stuff you can promo stuff you can buy, like T-shirts. And the biggest thing, like my I need a new lanyard because the one I made for my business, like back in 13 or 14, it's getting pretty beat up and I need to replace it. So I was hunting around for a Warhammer 40,000 lanyard, particularly Space Wolves, and the only thing I could find was the promo lanyards they made for the Space Marine 2 game. And I was a little pissed because I was like, I want a Warhammer 40,000 lanyard. I want Warhammer 40K logo, or I want Space Wolves, or I'll even settle for like Blood Angels. Right. I want a 40K lanyard. I would also like some really cool 40K t-shirts. The two posters behind me, the one behind my head, and that one, that's Sisters of Battle, that's Space Wolves. But like kids' clothes. I mean, parents, 40K parents, people who've grown up now they have kids. They would love to buy their kids 40K clothes. And what better way to rope your kids into the hobby?
Like bed shirts, pajamas.
Look at the Space Marine I painted. I mean, come on.
I tell you, I don't know if you saw it, but they kind of have like shirts and stuff like that and hoodies, but not enough. Lennon, they don't have enough of it. You're right. They need it for kids or pillowcases, sheets, whatever it is. Whatever it is, they need that. I think they need that stuff, especially for the younger people.
Yeah,
I do.
And I get like the whole universe is very violent and all that stuff. But I like when we were when I was a kid in the '80s and like even some of the '90s, like a lot of these horror movies and like really gory movies that they came out with, like RoboCop. There was a whole toy line for RoboCop. Right. Never mind the movie was violent as hell. There was a whole toy line for RoboCop. No the Aliens movies. They came out with a toy line for the Aliens movies. Terminator. That was a rated R movie. Both of them were. They came out with a whole toy line for that. So it's like, I get it's a really violent universe, but at the same time, for kids and also for us old guys who like this stuff, can you bring out some apparel? Can you bring out some like tidbits, some memorabilia, some stuff that like we would buy? You want to charge $10, $15 for a lanyard? I'll take one.
That would be a good seller too. I know they have a company. I don't know what it's called, but it's kind of, there's another company that does it, that they make. They even make an incense of like a little orb. That's $50, and you're hanging around your neck. They have rings.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, my buddy of mine has has a Space Wolf ring. Yeah,
it's basically like licensed through GW.
Yeah, and they're like the rings are like $400.
Yeah. Some of it gets expensive,
but they're actual quality made jewelry.
Yeah, real quality. You're right, real quality made jewelry. It is something else. I got to get you the name of this company because it's really cool. I sometimes
I know who it is. I ran across it a week or two ago. I can't think of it off the top of my head. They've only got like 10 or 15 products, but
quite a bit. Yeah.
For those, I don't really wear jewelry, but I mean, for those of us, like I'm big into shirts. Like with my brand that I ran, I've been producing apparel for 18 years. So like I'm really picky about that, and I'm pretty good at it. But at the same time, like I bought at LVO, the Games Workshop booth, they were selling. It was actually kind of cool. They had T-shirts, and they were black shirts, and every single shirt was one of the old second edition Codex covers. So like the Space Wolves, the Sisters of Battle, the Orcs. Yeah. I managed to find a Space Wolf shirt in, I think, medium. I'm actually a large now that I've started building muscle mass.
Yeah, that's worth having.
But
Yeah, that's worth having. Yeah.
It was a neat idea, but like it was a direct-to-garment print, so I have no idea how long it's going to hold up for. It wasn't a screen print. And
oh, okay. Yeah, well,
it sucked because it was a $28 shirt at the show. And I know it cost him about $5 to make the shirt with the shirt included.
$5 to make. Yeah. Like scalpers are going to scalp and whatnot.
I've been in manufacturing for a long time, so I know how much most of this stuff costs that they make. And I'm just like,
oh yeah, to produce.
You're charging $75 for that, dude. That's literally a dollar. That's like $1.25 in plastic.
Yeah. It's marked up 5 times. Yeah. I've even seen a knapsack. They have some kind of schoolyard, school backpack that's made out of leather. And see, I think the problem is that some of the stuff they sell, it's not cheap, Lennon.
Yeah.
It's not really accessible even to kids because it's not cheap and it's not really geared towards that. But I think you're right. They need that. I think that would really, really, get the kids involved in it.
Yeah.
The fun part. The character part,
Yeah, my last guest, Steve, he like he's got his kid in a painting. His kid loves it, and like pretty much every guest that I've talked to that has children, they all want to be part of what Dad's doing, and some of them stick with it. Some of them don't.
Kids, their kids, they go to the shows, they enter Golden Demon with the young bloods,
Well, I mean, what absolutely kills me, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So like in the '80s, the '90s, even some of the 2000s, like how underground Warhammer was. Like the only place you ever heard about it was you went to the hobby store where all your buddies, your hobby buddies that played or painted, they went there too. And that was the only place you ever heard about it. And then I
can agree with that.
Almost 2 years ago, I got together with my gal and I asked her kids, I was like, hey, do you guys know what Warhammer 40,000 is? They're like, oh yeah, with the Space Marines and stuff. I'm like,
oh, now it's everywhere. But as far as gaming and stuff, you even go to toy stores, they'll have it there, or Walmart, they'll have it there.
Yeah, it blows me away that
they
it's
got
become
Monopoly games now. Monopoly,
it's just become this worldwide phenomenon where like everybody kind of knows what it is. And I think Space Marine and Space Marine 2 really helped with that, like especially Space Marine 2.
The gaming thing, yeah. A lot of my friends, they learned it through the game. They didn't even know that miniatures, and then they got hooked on the painting. But you're right. You're 100% right. Yeah, the games. Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. I can't use a console controller to play video games, like using the analog sticks to look around and move. I've got to use a mouse and a keyboard. And so my one of my best friends, he bought me Space Marine 2 for the PC so I could play it. And I couldn't even get past the first Tyranid because like I'm using a keyboard and mouse, and the game is really set up for console use because like I've got WASD set up for strafe left, strafe right, forward, and backward movement. And then there's like a million other keys you have to use in combat, like parry, dodge, jump back, jump forward, slow motion. It's like 7 different keys.
I've never
I'm like,
played it, but
dude, I can't do this. This sucks. Like the game's beautiful. It sounds great, but maybe I'll get back into it and try and remap the keys.
Oh. Yeah, some people it's not like I don't play much, but I've heard that a lot of people that my friends love this, and that's how they learned about it.
Yeah, I heard it's a hell of a game. And
there
was a lot of silly things that came out. There was some stupid little cartoon animation that somebody did, and it's ridiculously funny. But at one point they're like, brother, heretic. I mean, brother. So to actually get back to the show instead of just rambling on like we're like kind of tend to do with my guests.
It's all right.
What do you think about 90s Eavy Metal Grim Bright box art versus modern day Eavy Metal Grim box art painting?
I think they're both nicely done. I got to go with the original stuff, man. That's burned a hole in my brain. Like that wowed me. Every month I would run to get that book.
Oh yeah.
So I could see the Eavy Metal team paint. And I even remember before that they would have a little section in the back. You'd Mick Beard, Paul Benson. You would have these guys and just a selection of models they painted. What's his name? Fraser Gray. God, no, I don't even know what happened to him, but he was fantastic ahead of his time. He was in the Fantasy Miniatures books. Another thing, the hardback books that showed the models from the first and second Golden Demon.
I've got.
But I've Bartley and them. Yeah, it's fantastic. But that was magic to me, so I got to go with the original stuff. Yeah.
Okay, I kind of missed they did another Fantasy Miniatures hardbound, I don't know when it was released. I want to pick it up. It's like $100 on eBay because they didn't make that.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
but I do miss the fantasy miniatures hardbound. They did those for the first 3 years of Golden Demon.
Oh, did I love those? I still have one or two of them. Yeah, I can look at those, and I know every page practically by heart. But I still get lost in my own mind looking at it. It still has a special place. That's another thing that I would love looking through those books, and that's how I found out about shows and competitive miniature painting. Mm-hmm. And that Golden Demon was this pinnacle of it. And that's got a special place in my heart, man. I don't think anything will ever change that.
Yeah,
I don't think it'll ever change that one.
Yeah, that would have been interesting to go to as when I was younger, just to like a young person's mind versus
I went in 91. They had the first Golden Demon in United States at Tall Cedars Hall, Maryland. Mm-hmm. Maybe about 6 categories, and it was a small little room.
Yeah.
And in 1991, I remember I was either 17 or just going on 18, and that's how long I've been attending that show. I'm 51 now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you've got 6 years on, 7 years on, 8 years. I can't math. You've got 8 years on me. There we go.
I've been attending it a long time. I've been attending it a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, hell, I think I found I've got the last fantasy miniatures book they did, the red one with the Space Marines on the cover.
Yeah.
I've got that one. I remember I got that when I was in 8th grade. I was in Chicago, and we went to a store that carried Games Workshop stuff, and it was in their bargain bin. I think I got the thing for like $3 or $4. It was brand new.
That's a find. That's a beautiful find right there.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on the first two. I've seen them before, but it'd be nice to have in my collection.
I believe I have them. Yeah, I have all the how to paint books, you name it, from them they ever created. Yeah.
Oh, I need to get my hands on. I need to get another copy of How to Paint Warhammer 40,000 miniatures, the one they released in 2nd edition. So I've still got mine.
I got them all.
I've still got mine, but it's so beat up.
Oh no, I got to keep these things protected. Yeah, I got to protect them, man.
I still got this.
That's like my history there. Yeah, it's beat up. Yeah, it's it's seen its use.
Amazingly enough, that one hasn't fallen apart.
But tell me you don't. Again, every page, you've seen it. Tell me you don't get lost still looking through that. I mean?
The whole thing. I like how. Excuse me. I like how in modern times, like how high resolution the photos are of everybody's minis. On Instagram, you can zoom in. On Facebook, you can open it in a new tab and zoom in. I like looking at like the attention that people pay to their painting, seeing little mistakes here and there because, it's like, oh God, you're actually human. Whereas back in those days, they showed the models that size in the books and they never showed them any bigger. And because they were printed with offset printing, it wasn't a high res digital photo.
That's correct. Yes.
You could only get so close to the picture with your eyeballs, and in modern times you can take a picture with your cell phone.
Without it starting to blur up. Yeah.
You can take a picture with your cell phone and zoom in, but like you zoom in with your cell phone, you start to see the dot pattern of the print.
Oh yeah, you could take out the actual like techniques used and whatnot. Yeah.
Back in this era, I mean everything looked absolutely perfect, and I would
everything just made sense to the eye.
From what 80s told me about Warhammer World. Is that they always do have like a selection of heritage era models on display in the museum. So I'm really curious about going to Warhammer World and seeing these things in person, even if they're in a glass case, seeing them in person.
You know what? That's history there, Lennon. Yeah, that's history, man.
Yeah.
I got to get over there somehow to that side of the pond. But let me tell you something, I'm sure that's a trip that I think everybody who is a GW fan or Citadel Miniatures fan or a painter, once in their life, they got to get over there to see it. Yeah, definitely have to.
Oh, my mom's living over there right now. She's British, so
that's a beautiful reason to go.
Yeah, it's just getting the money together to go is the problem at the moment, because that's at least a couple grand per person. So I'll be
it's not a cheap
my gal
trip.
And I
definitely not a cheap trip. Yeah.
And I mean, hell, going to Golden Demon is going to be about a $2,000 or $3,000 trip.
Yeah.
Between the flights for both of us and the hotel room and then whatever money we spend there.
Not cheap at all.
And I'm really, really fighting myself not to buy anything while I'm at Golden Demon.
And that's another tough thing because you're gonna. I mean, it's tough not to because you're there. you're there. You got to give yourself a reason. I'm here.
It's like, I need an adult. But you are an adult. I need an adultier adult.
You need somebody to really rein you in, right?
Pretty much.
That's what my girl tries. I mean, she makes the effort. I give her credit, but it's tough when the urge happens, man. It's tough. As collectors, it's something. It's
at LVO. They have the guys who put it on Frontline Gaming. They set up a giant booth there, and they go through and actually buy up like new old stock or used stuff from people. So like they have it all out, and they have it at discount prices. So like I walked out of there with probably $300 or $400 worth of crap for $130.
Tell me, just looking through that stuff, you don't have the time of your life, right?
It's like I know what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to buy a bunch of things, but like I bought a box of brand new Cataphracti Terminators for $30K because I wanted to paint one of those. I bought a box of what I thought was complete Space Wolves, like the firstborns. Turns out all the torsos and legs were missing. So I have a box of bits now.
Bastards.
I bought a box of Primaris Intercessors. I was like, I'll probably paint one of the two of these. I'll do a Primaris project, whatever, just to have on hand. And then
that's the big weaponry, right? Yeah.
I found one of the mystery box Space Marine heroes. I got him for $10. And that was
looking for something, and you find something else, and then you find something looking for something else.
Well, the cool thing was there was a guy. He's an actor, but he wrote a book called Dust. I can't think of his Josh something or other. But he had a small little booth there. He was hanging out with his girlfriend. She was dressed up as an elf, and he was selling copies of his book. And I bought his book, and he signed it for me, and it was a damn good book. But he's planning a trilogy of it, so I'm just like, I finished it. I'm like, so when's the next one come out? He's like, I'm writing it right now. I'm like, so like 2 years? He's like, yeah, probably. I'm like,
around a deuce. Yeah, I love that stuff. The Frontline Gaming is good like that. They buy all the screws and stuff. It's nice service they offer. Yeah,
they had a lot of stuff. I found an old metal avatar.
Yeah, I'm the actual like from the Elder, the big metal one in parts. Yeah, that's a big find. Yeah.
At the time, I didn't want to paint him. Now, just like I should have bought him. It was only $15.
That's when you start kicking yourself in the can, right? Damn it, I should have got it.
But I'm like, when am I going to paint it?
We don't care. We just buy it.
Yeah, right?
It doesn't matter. Just get it.
Again, I need an adultier adult.
It's terrible. Yeah, you got to have somebody rein in.
My gal always says, she's like, don't make eye contact. I'm like, I already made eye contact.
It's terrible, man. When you get that urge, it's powerful, man.
Okay, so we're gonna move on to the final question of the segment before we jump into your Instagram feed. What advice would you give to painters who are just starting out to help them avoid the same pitfalls you experienced?
What advice I would give them? If you like something you do, whether people don't see it your way or if you like something that you do or you've done, write it down and repeat it as many times so you can get better and better and better at that. Because chances are, if you like something, that's a winner to keep it.
Yeah.
Whether it's a recipe or a process, whatever it may be.
Oh, just to talk about how old we are again, it's kind of amazing that it's kind of amazing, like with the advent of YouTube, like how you can do that now. You find a painter that you like, usually a bigger painter, and then most of the time they'll have a YouTube channel and they usually show you how they did what they did. And it's, I mean, you and I grew up with print media, and that was all we had. There was no like home VHS. There was no VHS tape of like, here's how to paint a Space Marine.
That's all. Whatever Eavy Metal put out, even the winners of the Demon back then, a lot of these guys didn't even tell you anything because they wanted to keep their secrets.
Yeah.
Now it's the information highway. People are tripping over each other to let you know what they did.
Yeah.
And a lot of it could be overwhelming, but if you see somebody you like or a style you like, try and go for that. Try to emulate it, and whatever comes out is going to be your version mixed with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
One thing I always try to iterate to people is that, like, if you see something and there's a painting tutorial for it or whatever, and you really like what this person does, follow the tutorial, try to emulate it, do it 5, 6, 7, 8 times.
Definitely. Because run it through. Yeah. Run it and run it over and run it again.
Yeah. You may not, it's not the end product that's important. You might wind up hitting it after the 10th try finally, but it's what you learn in the middle of it.
The journey.
The journey you take. And you're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff that you never thought you'd learn.
That's correct. Yes, I fully support that. Yeah.
And hell, for two old guys sitting here yammering on about 40K, it's not it's not where we are now. It's what we've done over the last 20 or 30, 40 years of our lives in this silly hobby.
Oh yeah. It's been good to us, I'd say, and I'm always trying to give back, whether it's educating people or positive reinforcement for people, whatever it is that I can give back to the community. Anytime I can, I will.
Well, I mean, in your pictures where you're at Golden Demon and stuff and hanging out with people, when people, you take photos with folks, you always just look so genuinely happy in them. And
it's a good time. Yeah, I live for that because, again, when I got hurt, Leonard, that was a tough time to swallow. That not only couldn't you do your job again, but you can't do the things that made you who you were. Yeah, and trying to find another place in the world was tough because I didn't know where to go, what to do. I said, what do? I like painting. And I started seeing a lot of information online. And I'm like, maybe this time I could actually learn something by looking through it.
When did you get back into it?
I've always done it. I've always painted. It's always been a hobby. But when I started taking it really serious was around 2012. Okay. And I started heavily competing in 2015. Okay. So that period from 12 to 15 was learning as much as I could.
Yeah, that was right around the time I got out of it for the second time.
It happens. Yeah,
I didn't do anything for
come back. Yeah,
I didn't touch brush and miniature for like 12 years.
It happens. Yeah. I know people who still haven't picked up the brush but intend to. But it's good that you're back. You know what I mean? And it's giving back to you in a way that you're proud of.
Yeah, like I'd always had like kept tabs on like what Games Workshop was doing. I'd poke around the site and see what was coming out. And like when the Primaris came out, I'm like, what the hell are these things?
Oh yeah,
this ain't a Space Marine. What is this? But
this is not what I'm used to. Yeah.
We were talking on the like off camera. We were talking about the people that inspired me to get back into it, and you and I had a shared one, which was Pax Acrylica. He was on a couple episodes ago, and it was awesome. Really neat. Like how you mentioned, like he's in this master painters group with you guys or with you, and how it's neat having like these groups that you can be a part of, or just people that you keep in contact with on Instagram, to bounce ideas off of, share, and actually like celebrate each other's victories and things they've overcome.
You help each other grow, Lennon. You help each other grow. You're celebrating the good, the bad, and it's a brotherhood. It really is a brotherhood. Like anything else, it's a brotherhood. Yeah.
The funny thing is, a good buddy of mine, his name's RJ. When I was doing the band thing a lot, when that was in full swing, like when we were on tour, RJ was he was a roadie for the headline band that we went along with called Cyclone 9, and RJ and I we met and we hung out, we had a good time, had some drinks together, had a bunch of stupid stories to share and whatnot. And I didn't know he was into 40K, but I guess he got into 40K like 2 or 3 years ago. I think it was 2.5 years ago he got into it, and him and I reconnected over that, and it's been really cool, like watching him grow in his painting.
Do what I mean?
It's like, dude, cool. He's coming to Vegas for LVO, and I was like, "You want me to help you with your painting a little bit?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, just come over to the house. We'll sit down for a couple hours, have some beers, and dick around with painting and have fun with it."
Have a paint night, yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good time. Yeah, it's a good time.
And he's asked me how I paint my orc skin and stuff. I was like, come over, I'll teach you. So
yeah, and everybody's sharing their journey with each other. It's a good thing. It really is. Everybody gets out. Yeah.
That's and like having guys like you on. It's just it's a lot of fun on the show because you mentioned the whole brotherhood thing. It's just it's neat to have that one special thing in common with somebody else. That and
it's a nice bond.
I tend to have a lot of older folks on. Older 30s 40s on the show,
right.
And it's like guys who have been involved for 20 or 30 years of their lives, and just to hear everyone's stories about how they got into it, what they've gone through with their painting, it's so cool just to hear all these different shared experiences, especially in a day and age where like we no longer have shared experiences.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's very cool, man. It's again another, I'd say, aspect of the community that everybody's just basically sharing in everybody else's journey. So nobody's alone. No one's going alone.
Hey, sharing is caring.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. This is definitely true, Lennon. Yeah.
And it's also interesting to see like just all the different personalities that come on.
Yeah. So, everybody's different, but they all have that common bond of miniature painting.
And literally everyone I've had on the show, dude, it's like, you come to Vegas, like, let me know. We'll go out and get some beers and just, have fun.
Yeah, you hang out and you take it even further, and you become better friends than what you were.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You become closer with people. That's a good thing.
And it amazes me, like, there's just the sheer creativity that so many of my guests have in what they do and the way that they look at the world, like, and especially like the way they look at their models. It's so neat being able to talk to other creatives in this way. And never in a million years, go back 20 years ago, never in a million years did I ever think I'd be able to do something like this, talk to guys like you, and have things like this going on in the hobby where it's like, oh no, let's get together and hang out on the internet for a little while with video chat and everything.
It becomes its own language. Yeah, it becomes its own shit language. You know what I mean?
I'm a 43-year-old man.
The language of Warhammer. Yeah.
I'm a 43-year-old man. You think I'd learn how to swallow my water by now? I just screwed up on life real bad right there.
That's all right, man. It happens. Sometimes we choke. It's all good. It's all right.
So we yammered on about all kinds of random stuff, and I'm going to put my white screen up just so I can see where I need to make a cut. We'll go ahead and dive into your Instagram feed.
Okay.
And let me get the interact window up. There we go. And I'll say flat out, because you're one of we can smell our own. I was pretty upset about this. That hurt.
I'm still crushed, man.
Yeah. It was so cool seeing him on this final tour, seeing him in that throne, just how happy he was and how excited he was.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was a couple years.
That was the most badass thing, Lenny.
Yeah.
That really made me happy seeing him do that.
There was a couple years ago where, like, his doctor said you can't perform anymore, and I remember reading an interview with him. He just said he was just absolutely destroyed because he couldn't perform anymore. And seeing that he was actually able to do this final tour and actually have a good time with it. He actually, I think I read something, he like stayed sober the entire time.
Oh yeah.
Working physical therapy the entire time to make sure,
he wanted to feel the way, all faculties, wanted to be the best he could.
Yeah, he was completely there.
Amazing.
And that made me really happy.
It really is amazing. Voice still sounded good.
Oh,
he had some vocal cord stimulation. It's really amazing.
Well, that was only
that man could have done that.
Yeah, that was another thing that he mentioned, was like he wanted to stay completely sober and in good physical shape the entire time because he wanted to be able to sing the best he ever could.
Yeah, and that to me says something, man. That's what an amazing person. I don't think any other person could have did that at that type of stage in their life with all that going on. I don't think so. It's inhuman. So it's Ozzy. You know what I mean?
So scrolling down, we'll start out with everybody's fan favorite. We'll start out with Space Marines.
All right.
So what did you do this for?
This was done for Nova Open Capital. What I'll do is I'll do a bunch of models and projects for a year, and then what I'll do is let's say I do a piece for Demon. I will also enter that piece into the other shows that year. So this was done when the Horus Heresy came back out. I wanted to do a little scene on a Martian backdrop with two Marines basically just doing some surveillance on the battlefield, pressing forward. And they got their little serval skull with them. And I put even a dead body of one of the Chaos Guard. And it was basically, that was it, just to get a scene of them on some kind of Martian landscape. Yeah.
Now, like for your armor, what did you use for the armor, just paint wise? Or do you remember?
It's scale 75. I forget the three names, but there's a 3 color they use. I forgot. I can get you the names on those because, again, I just grab these things. I'm not too crazy about the names, or I'm not too familiar with the names, but I do know the colors. I have them in a set. What I like to do is, a lot of people call it grimdark. What I like to do is have the models look like the environment they're fighting in. So there's a lot of scratching and wear and tear. My thing was always to have my models look the way scale modelers show their armor and their tanks. So I wanted to apply that look to Space Marines, fantasy models. That was the idea behind the style I have. So to have them literally look exactly like the wars they're fighting in, not off the assembly line, not showcase, as exaggerated as I could show damage.
You don't do them like mine where they just look like they came out of the Space Marine car wash.
Yeah, I just, it's not that I don't like that. I love that look. It's just, I don't know if it's therapeutic. It's just something I started doing. I had this image in mind, and I stayed with it. And now it's got basically my aesthetic, my look, they'll call it. Yeah.
I think, like, I noticed about these, I find really interesting is that, like, all the battle damage you did by hand. You didn't actually do with, like, a sponge.
All by hand. Yeah. All by.
That's a lot of patience.
I do use a sponge here and there, but, you know, it depends on how small the area is. And just what I do at the time, whatever takes over as far as autopilot, whatever my hands start doing. Very therapeutic for me because it's basically I just go on autopilot, so something I enjoy. Yeah.
The amusing thing to me is that, like, you mix Grim Dark with Grim Bright.
Yeah,
because
that's what separates me, Lennon. That I try to make the Grim Dark as technical and a bit vibrant, more than what you would see in a typical Grim Dark model.
Yeah, the armor color that you chose for the Ultramarines is very, like, even in Grim Bright standards, you went with a really bright blue as opposed to, like, the Ultramarine blue.
Yeah, very bright. Yeah, that's what I like. I like that look. I just like the 3 bottles of paints that I use. One's the base, the highlight, and the shade. And I love these 3 colors. I got to get you the names of them. I forgot at the moment, but that is basically what I use for my Ultramarines.
I'm curious because you're one of the few guys I've seen do this. For your black lining / panel lining, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Do you actually kind of do it like I do, where you base coat the model, your base coat color, and then you go in and do all the panel lining with the black or the dark blue? I'm not sure what you use for this. And then you go through and clean up the panel lining and then go start highlighting?
Yes.
Okay.
That for me, it's the black lining is something I've used my whole life. I think it's one of the greatest and easiest ways of showing shade.
Yeah.
But black lining, brown lining, dark lining, whatever you want to call it, is something that I'll do when I remember to do it, which is at any stage of my painting. It can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
I could do it. Depends. I'm always doing things different. I may highlight first. I may do this, but I'll always have some kind of phase where I'm constantly reapplying black lining in those areas. But yeah, then if I spill over, I'll clean it up and subtract and things like that.
Yeah, it's a great way of, like, to me, it's a great way of, like, creating contrast between panels.
Yeah.
There's some people that just do not like it, and then there's others like you and I where it's just the bee's knees.
I swear by it. I say it gives delineation to the sections. It shows clear delineation or, separation of parts.
I am currently getting yelled at. I'm going to make him come on camera. Hang on a second.
Okay.
Oh. Hi, Gizmo. You're part of the show
now. Hey,
What
buddy.
are you doing? Did you just wake up? What do you think of the model? He's like, I don't care. Put me down.
Really?
He knows better than to interrupt me during a show. Otherwise, I put him on camera.
Adorable. That's so good.
The whole black lining thing. There's, again, I said there's some people that hate it. There's some people that love it. And the funny thing is, like, when the way I do my Blood Angels, the black lining in their panels, people are like, "Oh, dude, how are you doing that? I can't do it with Known Oil. I can't do it with Black Legion. How do you do that?" And it's like, I just paint it on, like, cover the spillover in white, and then repaint the red, and then highlight up from there. What's undercoating?
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Nobody does that anymore.
No, but there's actually in Reaper Master Series they make 4 types of liners: brown liner, blue liner, gray liner, and black. And I'll use the brown liner quite often with the gray liner, whatever I grab out of those 2. But that's definitely what I use. Yeah, I swear by it. Yeah.
I discovered AK Black. Oh God, I love it. Oh,
another good paint. Yeah.
You can thin that stuff out, so the amount of pigment in it, you can thin it out to the point where it's water and it still covers, like, it's straight out of the bottle.
Very pigment. Beautiful color. Yeah.
I have a curiosity. How did you make the base?
The base, I could send you some images, is basically I'll build over cork.
Okay.
Cork will be my skeleton. And in that skeleton, I'll use putty over that cork, that uneven, construction, or the way I'll lay it up. I'll show some elevation here and there by just stacking cork on top and cutting it to size. Then I'll take some putty, whether it's green stuff or Super Sculpt, whatever it is, and then I'll layer that over everything. And that putty, I'll press the Marines in so they have a socket to where their feet meet. And then from there, it's just textured paints and pigment powders.
Okay.
But it's a very easy thing. It all starts with all sorts of elevations and different types of unevenness with cork.
Yeah. No, I really like how, like, it looks like dirt, but it looks very Martian. And I really like the little
It's
tentacle.
almost like mountainous or whatever you would see surfaces on.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. I really like the tentacles coming out of the dirt.
Yeah, I say to myself, the enemy of my enemy is a friend. So whatever is there might give them a little problem. We don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a really cool piece. And hey, let's go digging again. Actually, there was a Nurgle Marine I wanted to look at.
No, with the banner.
What is this?
Snotling pump wagon. That's the one.
Okay.
That's got the snotling from the pump wagon.
Is he a normal orc, like a normal model from Games Workshop? Because I've seen him numerous times.
That is every time there was a Golden Demon Games Day, they would give a special model for the event.
Okay.
Now, I forgot which one. It might be 2007, 2005. One of those, he came out.
Okay.
And he's a fantasy orc. And he came with another little snotling.
Yeah.
But I particularly use the siege barrels. And I call him basically, what do you call them? An orc brew boy. So he's got the brew, he's got his beer, whatever it is, his mushroom fungus brew, and the guy's eating into the profits. You know?
So he's the orc version of Bugman.
Yeah, basically, that's what's going on. Yeah.
Okay. And
his little sidekick, he's kind of taking away the booze from the profit. You know what I mean? He's eating into the money.
I'm sure you've seen the movie Willow.
Oh, yeah.
When one of the brownies falls into the beer, he's like, beer! Yeah, I can't. I don't know. Go ahead.
The remake, I was very disappointed in that.
I don't know what it like. I've started seeing him. I think I saw him in one of the white dwarfs that I got from my painting bestie. But like since I noticed him in there, I've started seeing this particular orc pop up all over the place. I'm like, I want one of those.
Yeah, you could probably get them online now, maybe $60, but it is one of the Games Day specials.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the little snotling he came with was really funny too. So I might try and pick him up and paint him up for my gal because she loves orcs and gobos.
Yeah, it's a nice piece. It's a full metal model. It comes in 2 parts, I think 3 parts: a snotling, a sword, 4 parts, a shield on his back, and then him. Yeah.
I like how like I don't know, kind of desaturated your greens are, and you're using browns and reds to shade the recesses with.
I find out when I get these desaturated colors, this brightness allows me to really manipulate the shading and the weathering and things like that. It shows up much better.
Yeah.
So it's something I went with, and I stay with that type of idea.
Yeah, your metallics are really cool on this guy too.
Thank you. Really appreciate that.
And it's nice to actually see like a Golden Demon winner level painter as yourself still using metallics.
Oh, yeah. That's all I use is true metallics. I won't touch non-metallic metal, yeah.
I've thought about trying it, but I like metallics. It's just a nice offset from all the other colors.
Yeah. You know, I see a lot of people when they do it, and I know it works well in photos, especially when it's done to a high level. But my thing with NMM is from certain angles, it doesn't look that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And with true metallics, any way you spin it, it's got its own natural highlights.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aside, plus the ones you paint on. So to me, it's a win-win. I like aged metals. I like dirty and weathered metals. So true metallics to me works better that way. I can't really show aged non-metallics because the idea of non-metallics is shine and reflection. I like dirt and stains and things like that. Again, they got to look like the environment they're in.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to see a lot of metallics like actually in person. So I've been very curious as to how like the miniature looks when you start rotating it or changing the angle of it.
It's a beautiful effect, especially guys that do it well. But again, to me, if I turn it to an angle that it's not on that point where the light's hitting it, it's not meant to be seen at that angle.
Yeah. Well, they're like, so and also
that's a problem. Yeah.
I think some of it comes too from the lighting. Like there was at LVO, it's a model from Games Workshop. I think it's like a skeleton Lich King sitting on a throne, and he's got like this giant.
I know what it is.
Yeah. And there was a guy who painted one up, and he won. I think he entered it in Golden Demon and placed, but the model was actually at Verco's. I think Verco's owns it now, and they had it on display, and it wasn't lit properly. And it like not saying this in a negative way to the painter. It was painted insanely well, but because the lighting wasn't right, it didn't look right at all.
Right. It's got to be from a certain angle and a certain thing, you know, unless you're using the four light source like Darren Latham does sometimes when he does, you know, his lighting.
Yeah.
If you're not using that, it's only meant to be seen from one direction, like four shadows. It's only meant to be seen from one direction or a certain direction.
Yeah, at Verco's they had it. I think they had it like front lit, and the way it was lit, it was like everything was a mid-tone, and it just like the contrast.
Punch.
Yeah, the contrast of the model, especially when it's photographed properly, was just gone, and it did not look the same.
It sucks it out in the natural light. It's not there. You know what I mean? And that to me is a problem. You know, at least for myself.
I wanted to talk to you about this guy. Is this from Trench Crusade? It is.
That is Trench Crusade.
Okay.
Yeah, the line of models is Trench Crusade. Thomas Purenin, remember him?
Never heard the name, but a lot of
games designer.
Oh, okay.
And now he made this game that is basically like Mordheim. He's the guy who created Mordheim.
Oh, okay, got it.
So he went off and did this grim dark type of game with these most amazing models.
Yeah,
that's all John Blanche looking type of stuff. It's got all that kind of lore, and it's amazing. It really is. And this is a Sin Eater, and the model's just a great model.
Yeah, some of the like I've seen Louise from Rogue Hobbies did like a full review of Trench Crusade and everything that was coming out for it. And some of the hell spawns they had in there, they were just gorgeous models.
They're beautiful. Some of the best you'll see for grimdark. And some of the best models. It's a fantastic line. Yeah, and it's ever growing. So it's they really did a good job with Lennon. They really did.
I'm not really big on the infantry stuff because I don't really like the whole World War I, World War II aesthetic. But like
that's what people do like about it. I'd say it's kind of like in a World War type setting, you know, like Germany and trenches and whatnot, things like that.
Well, I think the storyline is it's during World War I, and like the Germans found out how to open a gate to hell, and it didn't go well for them, and it didn't go well for anyone.
Right. It's kind of, you know, it's based. A lot of people have a problem with it. It's based in religious, you know, teachings and things like that, and I just love the models. I think they're fantastic to paint up. I'm absolutely fascinated with like people's takes on like heaven and hell and things like that, and like especially it's really cool.
One of my favorite movies in the whole world is Constantine.
Oh, fantastic!
And the take on hell in that was really interesting. The take on hell in What Dreams May Come was really, really interesting. And even the takes on heaven, and they didn't really get to it in Constantine, but the takes on heaven in What Dreams May Come was really cool. And the thing I really liked about Constantine was how you actually had like angels and demons fighting they were here on the earth. Like there's and
there's a big war going on.
The scene when the priest he thinks he can't drink the alcohol, but he winds up drowning himself in alcohol because Gavin Rosdale's character cursed him. But like when the store clerk goes over him and it shows like Gavin Rosdale looking at him, the store clerk's wings come out and he's actually an angel.
Fantastic.
So the whole Trench Crusade idea was really cool because like I was looking at a lot of the models, I was like, this is like so Silent Hill-ish. I really love this.
Oh, definitely, Lennon. That's Silent Hill. It's Mordheim. It's got a little bit of everything in there, man. True grim dark. It's a very unforgiving world. Shows the horrors of war in different ways. And it's a great thing these guys did, especially with the models they created.
With this particular miniature, because I'm curious, and I'm sure other people are going to be too that still use metallics. How did you do the actual metal on him to make it? Did you start with like a silver coat, or I know you used a bunch of washes? What I'll do is,
if it's going to be my procedure is the same. If it's either going to be a white metal, which is usually lead belcher, and I'll go from there. But for my orange metallics, my orange brown metallics, or gold, I'll use Sycorax bronze.
Okay.
And then I'll start from there, laying in the shading and things like that. I'll do the cell shading. And what I'll do is my paint in the shaded parts has to be flat and matte. So I'll literally use paints to lay in the washes, not washes themselves, but I'll actually use paints to sketch in the actual shades.
Yeah.
and that part will be matte, no metallics whatsoever, and then the brighter parts will be metallic type paints.
Okay. Yeah, it's your take on the metallics on this is actually really cool. How you got that bronze thing. Like, I think my process would be a little bit different than how you went about it. But I mean, who cares? Whatever comes out in the end is just
right,
cool.
right. However it turns out, it turns out. Yeah. But I did a lot of like. Normally, I would use leathers to keep my look, consistent. But with this, here's where I changed up a little bit. I figured I would go like blue with yellow because it's almost like a yellow brown. It's got a little bit of that. So I used complements this time and used the teal.
Yeah, I really like your teal on there. It doesn't
not
overpower anything.
See in reality, but it looked great artistically. As far as complement colors being used. So that's why. But it's still weathered and everything else like that. It's stained, it's dirtied up, and textured and things like that.
Is this 3D printed or is this one of their plastic models?
That is 3D printed. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get my plug going here. 1 second.
Oh, okay, no worries. Okay, so you're back after some technical difficulties. You were saying what color bronze you were using on him.
I have it.
What was the color bronze used on him from Citadel? I don't remember the name of it.
That one is Sycorax, I believe the name is. Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like what you did with the teal in it. It's a great offset. It doesn't overpower anything. It's actually balanced with the rest of the model.
Yeah, it was a good decision. It's something I'm trying to incorporate on words from some of the pro painters that I look up to, like Eric Swinson, and I'm trying to add a little bit more vibrancy and color use into that grim dark look. You know what I mean? That I think is a new direction.
And I just noticed Brush for Hire's comment on it. I want to brush his teeth for him. I met him here in Vegas. He was one of the judges that judged my Ulrich.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like him.
Yeah. I wonder if I'll have to see if he's coming back again this year or not. Or this fall.
He's a good. I'll see him at the Nova. He's a good guy. I like him, man.
I actually want to come out to Nova. I keep hearing a lot of really cool things about it.
I would like you to do that, Lennon. If you can ever get a chance to do it, man. Try to get out.
Where is it at?
It's really cool. It's in the heart of DC.
Okay.
It's not a cheap thing. It's a lot of it's right in the heart. So there's it's a bit of a tough trip because things do get expensive. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I can't even lie to you. There's not McDonald's. There's nothing like that around at all.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you're talking like 4-star restaurants on top of 4-star restaurants.
Crap.
It's not. Other than that, you have the food at the place, which pizzas and things like that. Like, like nerd food they call it. But let me tell you something. It is not a cheap trip. I'll be honest with you, Lenny. It's a good trip, but it's not a cheap trip.
And just because I saw this earlier, you actually took this to Adepticon and placed for it.
Yes.
That is such an interesting take on a plague. I can't brain right now on a not Slanesh. Damn it! I can't think of the word. Nurgle. There we go. A Nurgle dreadnought.
Oh yeah, that was one of my biggest. I ended up releasing it to Verco. It won commended when Demon. I got my picture with the banner on it from Demon that year. It's got a little bit of a bunch of awards attached to it. It's one of my favorite pieces. I got a lot of criticism for having the weathering all over, but it's a look I liked.
It's Nurgle.
Exactly. Some people still don't see it that way, but that's fine. Everybody can have their opinion. That's cool. But I loved it. I think it's one of my favorite pieces.
I like the little nurgling down by his foot.
Yeah, he's hiding right there.
Like, oh, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. I tried adding some humor in there. The benches from the bases from Unreal Wargaming Studios. Really, really, really cool model. I love this piece. Yeah.
It's hard to tell. Is any of that weathering actually carved into the plastic? Because it looks like in a few spots you've got a couple of things you carved in there.
What I do to do the weathering is I'll do chipping medium, but I'll go in there with an airbrush needle and scrape, whether it's a hole or a small orifice. I'll literally scrape it into the model, then use texture paint to add the corrosion and thicken the piece up at those little points. And then the rush streaks and everything like that. Yeah, so it gets a 3-dimensional look.
Yeah. How long did this take you?
Oh, that was a good 6 months. Yeah, that was like the Leviathan I did. A good 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, I've talked about it on other shows, and that's like one of the hardest things I have to stomach is the idea of spending 600 to 800 hours on one miniature. Like if I spend a month on one miniature, I'm like, get this thing away from me. I'm going to break it. I hate looking at this now.
Yeah, it's something when I'm locked into it, I know I'm locked into it. I know I'm going to get bored, but I got to push through it. And it's all for the end result. But I do know a piece like that I'm going to do for the shows is going to be a while.
Okay.
Yeah,
actually,
I love Nurgle.
Very curious question. Like when you're working on a competition piece like this that you said, takes you 4 to 6 months to do, are you working on other things to relieve your annoyance or just fatigue?
Yes. I'll have 2 to 3 projects going on at a time.
Okay. Yeah, I've been finding lately with my own painting that actually does help. I never thought I'd get into doing multiple projects at once, but when
I get some break, you know what I mean? It's the only way I'll get a break. Yeah.
One of my guests came up with this term. Instead of calling it your pile of shame, you call it your pile of opportunity. Yeah, I found that it just helps. Like if I'm working on a competition piece, to have like 2 or 3 other pieces going. Where one evening I don't feel like touching that competition piece, I sit down and knock out like a Blood Angel in like an evening.
Yeah, it helps. It really does help. It helps.
It's cool. That's like the one thing I've been dying to ask, like someone who does this level of painting and who spends that much time. It's like, do you have like other projects going, or is this literally your life for 6 months?
Yeah. I'd like to also enter multiple categories, so it's sometimes appropriate for the time that I have to work on 2 to 3 at a time, so I can get them in.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I've been DMing Games Workshop. I've been leaving comments in their posts. Like I need to find out with games or with Adepticon with Golden Demon if I can enter my RTB01 Sneaky Beakies in 30K, because technically 30K is Sneaky Beakies. So that
I think you might be able to. From what I understand, I think you might be able to. Yeah,
because that one for me blew up.
Get back to you, but I think you can.
Yeah, that one blew up, and a good buddy of mine here in town, he's like, why don't you enter that in 30K instead of 40K? I was like, I did not think of that. You are a much wiser man than I, Chris.
You could. Yeah, I am sure you could, Lennon, yeah.
So I think I'm going to try and enter that display in 30K, and then I want to do a 5-man squad of Grim Bright, my Grim Bright Space Wolves for 40K.
I love the squad you do. A lot of beautiful work, especially the Blood Angels. A lot of good work,
when I did that Sneaky Beaky display, I can't talk. Sneaky Beaky display. I was batch painting. I was batch painting 3 of them at a time, and I remember it felt like it took forever, but it felt real good when I had them all clear coated and put them together.
Oh yeah.
I was like, okay, that's not so bad. That's the serotonin rush I want.
Yeah, that gives you that hit of that feel good, that elation when you see them all together like that. Yeah, I can empathize.
So because it's in my brain right now, and I don't want to forget to ask, I want to talk about your favorite miniature that you've done.
That I've done has to be.
And if is it on Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay. Which one is it?
It's literally that unit of the Blood Bowl team. Go up.
Up.
Stop right there. Go up. Yeah. See them there? Yeah.
Okay.
That is, as far as they're all my favorite. The whole team is my favorite. That is one of the it's a Crystal Brush 2nd place winner. It's a Golden Demon 2nd place Demon. It's a Nova Open Best of in squad category. It has a ton of awards, and it is just some people call it an all-star team. I just picked the most iconic models I could from Blood Bowl and showed a bunch of personalities, and put them all on scenic bases like a scrapyard. Yeah. And I enjoyed everything of it. I love the whole piece. Yeah.
God, I haven't looked at that Dwarven Steam Doom Roller or whatever it's called.
I love what I did with this piece. Yeah. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I mean, the last one of those I saw was from the 90s. So like this is definitely different.
Yeah. Thank you. That's my favorite out of everything.
I really like
the Nurgle.
I really like how you have the teal as the unifying factor between them all.
Yes, the blue. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That looks really good.
And I use a lot of battle damage, a lot of weathering, very, very chips and stains and all sorts of things. I love that look. Again, they have to look like the environment they're playing in, and that's that's the one I'm most proud of. Definitely the one I'm most proud of, the one I love the most.
I'll give you a challenge for this if you haven't done it already. I think you should make a display board for these guys.
I would love to sit down and do it. I think I'm done putting them in anywhere, so it probably would have to be just for myself. But
yeah,
I just may end up doing it. I just may end up doing it, Lennon.
Yeah, because I'd be really curious to see as to what you come up with for the actual football field to go around them.
Yeah, I mean, I have to match the grounding. The only thing I did for this that I really loved was if you scroll down, it should show them on the display board they're on.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a massive bi-level board that was made out of PVC.
How did you? So, like my own curiosity, how did you drill out the holes and get them all to mostly the same level?
Okay, so what I do is I have a friend. His name is Alex.
He's got a router.
Hammer alcove, and he has a press drill.
Okay.
And that press drill, I could tell him, put me 2 millimeters deep, 60 mil.
Yeah.
And he could just go across knocking out the holes.
Yeah, I thought about buying
Hammer's alcove. Yeah,
I thought about buying I found a 28 millimeter drill bit on an actual hole drill bit on Amazon, like 28 millimeter, 25, 30. I was thinking about buying some of those and actually just trying to hand drill. I don't have a press drill. I just got a hand drill, but actually drill out my holes so the miniatures have the right size holes on my displays.
Yeah, that's what I used to do, a socket. It's something I became known for. I still use it till this day. I like having sockets, and I put the models in there. Each model, instead of having a scenic board, I'll use little dioramas on their bases.
Okay.
So instead of one big dio, I'll use like maybe 7 to 9 little dios.
Okay.
It's something I became known for, for my units.
Yeah. Because what I used to do was I'd take a piece of like a 1/8 foam core. And,
right, that's another way they did it.
I don't remember how I got the holes perfect, but I somehow managed to actually cut the holes out, and then I would glue a piece of cardstock onto the bottom of the foam core for the models, for to end, so they sat in there right.
Yeah, that's exactly how a lot of people used to do it.
Yeah.
I had this done just because I wanted something a little harder because this had to be transferred by plane. So I wanted something a little harder. Yeah.
Yeah, on all my displays now, I actually put magnets, or I put screws into the display, and then put magnets on the bottom of the bases, so they're always magnetized to the displays.
Yeah, nice idea. I like that.
And I've gotten real kinky about it. I've actually started like magnetizing the display to the base itself, like inside the case.
Okay.
So like if I go to a painting competition, I can take the plinth off the display base and set it out.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And dude, the funny thing is that Logan Grimnar that I painted up, those magnets are so strong in there. That plinth is made out of solid wood. You can pick him up and he picks up the plinth.
Oh, wow. So you could like handle him and the plinth stays with it.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it because if you start shaking and the plinth will fall off. But if you're careful and you just pick him straight up, he'll take the plinth right with him.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
So let's poke around a little bit more. I thought this is cool. I like the skull and the scenery. That's really cool. Whoa, wow. God, there was a back in the 90s, there was this Spanish artist that they featured in White Dwarf. I don't remember the guy's name. I've got the copy of it, but he got really intricate with his armor, like you did with these, like just all the detail on the armor plates. I haven't seen something like that in years.
Tell you, there's so many. There was from Italy, from Spain. Some of these guys come up with some crazy stuff. I always try to look for some kind of texture. I like textures. I like corrosion. I like things like that. Something to different types of patterning, like weathering patterns. I call them. So that's what I try to focus on.
And I'm really curious. How did you get the moss effect all over the base? That's really cool.
It's something that AK Interactive sells. It's literally called AK Interactive Dark Green Moss.
Oh, okay.
And it's a tuft, but there's nothing sticking out. It's almost flat for all intents and purposes. So if you get that, all you got to do is put in the search engine, AK Interactive Dark Green Moss, it'll pop up. It comes on a sheet.
Oh, okay.
And that's basically painstakingly laying it over and over and over.
Yeah, I could see how that would be a little time consuming.
Yeah, it took a while. Yeah.
And was this like another 6-month project?
This maybe around 4 months. This one. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And again, I was working on other things as well while this was going on. Yeah.
So, I mean, primarily you're just doing like display pieces your entire.
I mean, 99% of the time, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. Something for shows.
Yeah, I mean, your stuff is like really impressive.
Thanks, Lynn.
I'm gonna go hide behind. I'm gonna go hide behind the couch now.
No, that's not true.
This guy was neat. I really like this dude. Oh, this is
okay.
This is the whole squad.
Yeah. But again, it's different weathering patterns I like to use. This is grime basically in the recesses, things like that. There's holes, abscesses, all sorts of wounds.
And I like how like the on the horns like sticking out of the helmet. So those are even like flesh colored.
Yeah, and I set that up that way. This way it makes like a bit of a, they call it a harmony triangle. So in all that green, amidst all that green, you'll see 3 points of left arm, right arm, and then horn on the head or eye on the head, and it makes that triangle, you know? It's visually a way of giving visual interest, you know?
Were these Terminators or Marines?
These were Chaos Space Marines.
Because that looks like a second edition Terminator.
Yeah, these are from Possessed. They're called the name of the Possessed. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not I'm still getting familiar with like a lot of the modern range of stuff. So I mean, there's stuff that they've come out with that I still don't even know about. Like I look online, it's like, oh, I didn't know that came out. That well, okay, that's kind of cool.
Oh, a ton of it. Yeah.
Oh, I had to stop myself the other night. I got a bug up my butt about wanting to paint a modern Warlord Titan. And so I started perusing Games Workshop's website for the epic scale Warlord Titans they've got now. And I'm like, oh, $100, that isn't so bad. How many weapons does it come with? Oh, exactly what's showing on the box. Oh, man, what about... But I want a Deathbringer. I want 2 autocannons, 2 missile launchers, and whatever I can stick in the middle point now. And I started looking at those. They were like $15 a damn weapon. I'm like...
Right.
So this thing's going to cost me $200 to get the loadout. No, not going to do it.
Come on, guy.
Whereas like the old plastic ones, they came with every single weapon.
Yeah.
In the good old days when we were young and we still had hair. To make this easier, do you have a second favorite?
What would I pick?
I really like that bust.
The Servo Skull. I like.
Oh wow. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's scratch built.
Yeah.
Did you sculpt the skull out of green stuff or?
The skull was resin from a 3D printer.
Oh, okay. And then what? You just started digging up bits to glue into them?
Then I just started adding parts to it and things like that. Yeah.
That's really cool. I like this.
Yeah. Thank you.
How did you mount? Is he mounted at the? I'm assuming he's mounted at the back plate.
Oh yeah, there's a pin going right through the back of his head into the actual plinth.
Okay. And where did you get that plinth from? Because I've seen those.
That's Taro, James Taro, called Taro Model Maker.
Oh yeah, it's right there. It's in the description.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Great guy, great company, beautiful plinths. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, as simple as it is, how long did it take you to paint this guy?
Maybe 2-3 months like that, I would say. It took the better part of 2 months. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like the.
Yeah, I love that one.
I like the tonality in the skull. How it's very bleached out, but there's still like chunks of like.
Oh yeah,
browns and yellows in it.
I love that piece. Yeah.
And I really like his lens, his eye lens. That's really cool.
Thank you.
And where'd you get the spinal cord from?
Oh, forget that's from a Talos paint engine. One of the flagellant things, those whips.
Oh, okay.
From one of the old Dark Elder Talos paint engines.
Yeah, you got a lot of bits, man.
Yeah, you don't know. I just look through my box and that's it. I'll just see what's there. And
I think the most technical I've gotten with bits recently was on that diorama that I painted for my gal. The Goblin Commando, the little guy, he's got the wetsuit on and the hook gun. Well, the eBay seller forgot to include one of the pieces of the hooks. So I'm like, oh great, one of the prongs of the hooks isn't here. Okay, awesome. So I ended up cutting off the hook off his
you had to make do, right?
Grappling gun,
right? And
I took an old second edition Imperial Guard las rifle barrel and glued that on, and then the CO2 cartridge, the air cartridge at the bottom, I cut the face of that flat and stuck an old Chaos bolt pistol barrel on there, and then shaved off all the rope that was hanging over the side and made that into a plasma coil.
Oh wow!
So
some surgery there.
It took, I don't know, like 20 minutes to do, but like when it was done, like everybody's like, "That's it. Oh yeah, that is a conversion. Oh, that's cool."
Nice, Lenny.
But the thing I love about orcs is all they got to do is believe it works, and it works.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, they tell themselves lies.
They could put a giant rock in the engine bay of one of their trucks, and then tape a note to it that says motor, and all of a sudden it works.
It works. That's great.
Let me pick one more, then we're going to shut this down because I need to stand up and move because my back is soaking wet right now because I have a pillow behind it.
I'm in pain too,
I actually really like this bust. This is really cool.
Yeah, I'm going to be bringing that to Nova. So, yeah, I love that piece, man. Again, I like the complement colors. So reds, even if it's lemon and green, I'll use pink and things like that. Just, you know what really gets me motivated to get that color scheme? Remember the Little Shop of Horrors, the plant?
Yeah.
Lennon. That's basically it, the Audrey color scheme. Yeah, that's basically where I get that from.
Seymour, feed me. I said,
feed
me, damn it.
Yeah, that's where the inspiration came from.
No, I really like how vibrant, how Grim Bright he is. Like I really like how neon the green is on the skin. I like how fleshy his face is.
Thank you. I made it nice and organic, you know?
Yeah. It's just a great combination of colors, and even like you went with a very muted brown tone for his torso, but it's still, I mean, there's still a lot of stuff going on in it as far as the browns go, and it doesn't take away from the face. Yeah, I like
that piece. I'm very fond of that piece.
Yeah.
I think that it really captured, the orc,
A funny thing was, there was the two busts that I got commissioned to do for my local shop. Those are the first time I ever painted busts this year, and oh, they were great. I was like, there is so much room to work.
Is one the Tau?
Yeah, the Tau and the
beautiful.
The Inquisitor or the Psyker guy.
Yeah, beautiful work.
Thank you.
Beautiful work, right? Yeah.
I sat down and started working on that Tau. I was like, there's so much room. I'm not bumping into anything.
It helps you grow. They definitely help you grow. Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with his skin too. Like I remember this when in the 2000s when Games Workshop released all the new Space Wolves, they did a painting guide, and to shade, instead of using like a dark blue gray or a black in the armor recesses, they started using browns. And I thought it was like, all right, I'm going to shade, I'm going to try that. I'm going to shade the blue of his skin with like a terracotta, and it turned out like really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
You get that nice effect. Yeah.
And with busts like this, it really gives you an opportunity to play with things that you could try on a 40K miniature, but they're just so small, the effect doesn't come through very well.
Right. It might not show well. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Whereas, like something this big, you can just really go full ham and like, oh, wow, that looks great at a much larger scale.
It becomes a nice punch. Yeah. It really, really helps out.
And I'm assuming this guy was printed resin.
Yes. It's a resin piece from a company called Figone.
Okay. No, it's so cool.
It's Jeremy Bonamontabul's company, yeah.
It's so cool what people are doing with 3D sculpting now.
Oh, it's amazing. It really is.
Especially like when you get like for the 28 millimeter to 34 millimeter scale, miniature scale, for the guys that like really have it down, where the detail is nice and crisp and deep.
They know their settings.
Yeah,
it really is. Right, it really is.
Well, the latest episode that just came out, I mean, I recorded it months ago, but it was with Beldor Studios. The chick who runs it, it's just her. She's an artist named Rachel. She goes by Ray, and she 3D sculpts all of her stuff for her miniature range, but she also paints all her own stuff. And we had a really good conversation about how much better of a sculptor she's gotten to be because she paints her own stuff. You're muted. Are you back? Oh, there we go.
I'm back.
Okay,
you got me?
Yeah, it went mute for a second.
All right.
But yeah, it's and the same thing with Tim Prow. He's like, dude, you got to paint your own miniatures. It helps you grow as a sculptor.
Oh, definitely. You get you start to get that skill set works hand in hand with one another.
Yeah,
I think that's a big plus.
I'd love to see this guy in person. This looks really cool.
Thank you.
Come out to LVO, bring him with. I want to see him.
Yeah. I want him to get out there. Yeah, I'll have to fly, but I'll have to figure it out. But yeah, if I do go out there, I'll bring him.
Okay, so I am going to shut the show down for the night. Let's go back to Guest and Me. So as I forewarned you, not like it's a threat or anything, is there anybody you'd like to give shout outs to? Well,
my girl Janet, I love that girl. The Almighty Father. People like my friends Tim, my friends Danny, Sawyer, my mentors, David Powell, Eric Swinson, people like that. Shout out to Verko's Vault. And yeah.
Okay. It's now become a thing on my show where I have a guest leave a question for the next guest who comes on. And my last guest left you this question. What hobby tool could you not live without?
My Artist Opus brushes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have yet to try those.
They're fantastic, yeah.
I'm still stuck on using I really like Citadel's brushes. They're small.
I love them too.
The small layer brush.
I've used them for a long time. I still think they're great brushes, but I do love Artist Opus.
Now, since you've used Citadel brushes, especially the modern ones, what differences do you see between the Artist Opus brushes and what Citadel makes?
Artist Opus to me is more durability.
Okay.
And the I'd say the snap to their brush is a crisper snap.
Okay, so it's more like a synthetic.
It has that. It's not that, but let's say it's just strong as one.
Okay.
They got a lot of strength to their brush to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been curious about trying the higher end brushes, but it's like I don't want to blow like $40 or $50 on a brush to discover I don't like it.
I mean, you go by what works for you, and you've been painting beautifully with the Citadel, so why change?
I'm using Citadel. I use pretty much just their small layer brush. I have a medium layer and a standard. I just beat the crap out of those. But I use their small layer brushes for 90% of my work. I use a Monument Hobbies Pro Synthetic 2 brush, I think. And that's become, between my small layer brush and that brush, that's what I use for like everything now.
That's it. That's the ones for you then, yeah.
But yeah, I've been very curious about those Artist Opus. I might pick one up one day and just give it a shot and try it out and see how it works.
Try one. You'll be impressed, yeah.
So with that question being said, do you have a question for the next guest who comes on the show?
What's his favorite Italian pastry?
As I said in off camera, it doesn't have to be a hobby question, so I cannot wait to ask the next person that.
Thanks for everything.
Favorite Italian what?
Pastry.
Italian pastry. That's a good one.
You like it, right?
Yeah.
Listen, thanks for everything, Leonard. Thank you.
I have a feeling it's going to be a cannoli.
It might be.
Because that's pretty much the only pastry most people know from Italians.
Yeah. Thank you so much, though, Leonard. Thank you.
Man. Thank you for coming on and spending time with me, John. I really appreciate the conversation. It was, like just your very uplifting attitude, and your laughter was a lot of fun to have on the show.
Thank you so much, Leonard. I really appreciate it, bud.
Yeah, man. And we'll talk off camera after I get this done. But let me switch over to my ending screen. So 8, 9, 10. There we go. I just makes it easier to time. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you, John, for coming on. And here's a couple more videos you guys want to check out. One of them's a podcast and probably one of them's a painting tutorial. But I'll talk to you guys soon.